Today, we're going to listen to a talking moose to build a thriving ecosystem. So let's see if we can find a stupid way to make this place thrive. And we gain balance points whenever we interact with our plants and animals. We're going to start with a pine. Right, as spring is starting, so that's got to be perfect. One pine tree. We can also make some very cheap flowers as well. We'll put a poppy in somewhere as well. That could go here. And also a lingonberry, which is food for animals and Swedish people. And eventually we can expand our forest to make a great bustling world. For now, our first animal life is going to be a squirrel, the most adorable of all God's creatures, who's already stealing pine cones and probably replanting them somewhere. Oh, and we touch him, he spits out poop. Once these trees are fully grown, they start to produce seeds. I assume this one is fully grown, that's why it's producing seeds that we can actually click on and they'll fall. The flowers die each winter but come back each spring. Butterflies and bees eat the nectar, which gives you BP. And apparently lots of animals rely on these for food, so we're definitely going to plant lots of these around the pine tree so there's lots of food for our poor idiots. Then it's mostly just watching our squirrel run around the tree. We gain points every time a squirrel takes a seed. Clicking on them makes them jump. If they're carrying a seed, they will drop it. Turning into winter again, so the flowers and stuff have died, but the pine tree will keep growing. It's a pine tree. The roots of the tree have reached groundwater, which means they can grow even taller now, so there's stuff going on way below the surface. Okay, we've got the BP, we definitely need a butterfly. We need more animals, more diversity so they can continue to expand. They disappear each winter but come back in spring when the flowers come back. We don't have a ton of flowers right now, so we got to give them more to eat. Our second tree is also getting reasonably big. Some of its pine cones are out of bounds. We've got this giant, thriving world, and all we have to show for it so far is a squirrel. But the butterfly is interacting with the flowers, so that's giving us easy BP. Eventually we'll set up a giant BP farm. We can afford a birch. There's a deposit of water down there. If we put the birch over here, it'll hopefully get enough sun. But I also have the option to cut branches. Okay, it literally cuts the whole branch off. I thought I was just trimming things. So, you know what? We're going to cut the leaves off this side, the needles off. That way the birch can grow and get all that sun. Don't worry, I'm a professional. I know what I'm doing. Birches grow anywhere, so that's easy. Deers also like to eat them, so the deer is going to like the lingonberry and the birch tree. So we just need some actual deer. There are a lot of seeds falling around right now, so that's good for us. Even if it's 1 BP at a time, that's going to add up. We're starting to get a lot of pine trees, so we're quickly creating a nice pine forest. And we can get our first deer. It costs 40 BP. Deers eat leaves, which gives you BP. You can click on deers to make them poop. This fertilizes the soil, allowing more picky plants to grow. Okay. Very exciting. The ground is more fertile in this spot, allowing more picky plants to grow here. Well, we're going to have a very fertile world at this rate. And suddenly this video has entered several different categories. This birch tree over here is also growing sausages, so it's officially a sausage tree. We're going to harvest those for easy points. We can make a beehive if we have 2 birches, 12 berry bushes, and 8 flowers. We're actually reasonably on our way there. We could also get another deer. No, we cannot. We need more room, so we're going to expand. What we're going to need is a birch tree. Are we planting that? Yeah, we planted 2 there accidentally, so that's fine. They'll probably run out of room, but I'm okay with that. Now, the squirrels are clearly up to no good, and so we'll throw a few butterflies in. I figured the more of everything we have, the better, and things will balance themselves out. As long as we got our poop machine, we're set to thrive, and it's going to go all over here, and then the birch trees over here are going to thrive. I'm going to make it a deer paradise over here. It's going to be nothing but flowers and berries and birch trees for them to eat, and they earned it with their rapid fire digestion. This really is just a cheat because I get 1 BP every time I touch the deer, so infinite points. So here's some poppies. I'm just going to follow the ground along. They'll fit wherever they fit, and they won't where they won't. We can afford our first beehive. We didn't get a choice as to where that goes. We can click this to spawn more bees, which is good. We're going to find so many different ways to ruin this game. I'm already getting too many things to click on. Like, I need more squirrels to harvest the sausages. Probably going to need more lingonberry as well, because lots of animals need these for food. And they must be close to pine, so anywhere there's pine trees, there is now going to be lingonberries. And their deer fertilizer is working hard. We're going to take a break from that to collect some sausages and right back to work. We got the money we need to expand, so we're going to do that. Now we can collect the pine cones over here. Next, we're going to get a chaffinch. I have no idea what this is. Apparently, it's a bird. So they arrive each spring and build nests in trees, and then we get points for clicking on the nests. We can also make an anthill. So we're going to spend 60 points on an anthill. I don't know if we get a choice as to where that goes, but they eat all sorts of things too, so our ecosystem is coming alive. I think we need another beehive though, because we have lots of flowers. Not currently, but in the spring we sure will. We're also going to get an extra squirrel and deer. Maple and a spruce tree are 100 each. Tall grass could be interesting though, so we're going to spend some tall grass somewhere. We planted some tall grass right here, so the deer are gonna love that. It dies each winter but comes back. Hares and voles like to eat grass. Good to know. We get 5 BP every time we click on the bird nest, and then it disappears. I don't know if it's because it's fall or because we clicked on it, but we got so many ways to make points now. We've got room for expansion. We're gonna expand to the right. Literally spent all my points doing that, but look how quickly they come back. Let's try a maple tree. We're gonna find out what it likes after we plant it. 1 animal's manure required. All right, we're gonna need a deer. We can lure it over with a little bit of tall grass. We'll put some somewhere right here. We still need animal manure for that. All right, they haven't pooped over here yet. Ooh, there's a bird's nest we can destroy. We got a bunch of points, and all we have to do is sacrifice a bunch of baby animals. So there's the manure we need. We're gonna get in there and plant a maple tree right away. And maybe actually we'll try and fit in a spruce tree as well, just to get those going. Okay, I see. The ground gets a little bit green where it's been fertilized. So this has all been well fertilized because I've been rapid fire clicking on the deer. Over here, not so much yet, but we'll fix that. Blueberry bushes like in your spruces. So before you know it, we'll have some blueberries as well, but we need to fertilize this ground. So the poop machine's going to be working hard. I've been informed that maple trees grow slowly but give you more points. And I've certainly got time if you do. We're going to expand to the left here a little bit to give this tree more room because the deers really like this, and I think the ants are also getting up the trees, and they're probably having a good effect. They enjoy their sausages a great deal. I wonder if we can make some giant trees eventually. It gives us all this room to play with, so I sure hope so. We can plant some blueberries as well. We're going to put them all around this tree because they like it here. And the trees have also seeded a new friend over here. Not sure actually if I want this. There's a stone in the way. Well, what I wanted was another maple tree. That's going to grow here because we only have 1 maple tree, and that's sad. Every tree should have a friend. The bees really like this particular tree. Wonder if we should get more beehives. Well, we should probably get a variety of different animals. Like we can get a vole pretty easily. That's only 60, and a hare for only 100. We'll get a second vole as well. The more things, obviously, the higher the requirements go. But the more creatures we have around, the more they're automatically going to gain us points and do things. Click a hair to make it jump and poop at the same time. We made a poop rocket. Here, come here. So if we can manage to continually click on it, we can, launch it into the sky on the power of its own poop. It's just really hard to click on it. I think I grew these trees too close together because this one's already falling over. But we'll get 5 points from it anyway. It doesn't have to live a happy life. It just has to earn me points. It's definitely getting bullied by this maple tree, which is growing very, very quickly. I clicked on the vole and it started burrowing. Not entirely sure if that's to anyone's benefit or not, but it's digging in. Oh, we could do a fox. I bet that's going to eat other animals. It said we needed 1 hare to do it, so I should probably figure out what these do. Click a vole to make it dig. If it reaches a root, it will give rewards. Larger roots give more balance points. Good, it can eat the trees and kill them. Foxes hunt hares, squirrels, and voles. Click the fox to make it hunt. The fox will jump and try to eat animals in front of it. If you succeed, you'll be rewarded with the balance point value of the prey. It ate the vole for 120 points. The prey is removed permanently. So hunting is most beneficial to the prey as auto reproduction enabled. They don't. So now we need to replace our vole for the points we took it away from. Blueberries are my favorite. Blueberries like in your spruce trees. A lot of larger animals rely on the blueberries. Good to know. We're going to expand and this could be a blueberry forest. And we are really going to fertilize this ground. It's light green over here. That might be because of something else. No, it's just from the extra poop that's going around. So we'll put some blueberries in. The fox is going to hunt the poop, I guess. Good for it. And we're just going to fertilize away. This ground needs to be glowing green. A beech tree. I'm not really sure what likes beech, but we're going to put 2 animals manure required. All right, well, we only have 1 so far, so that's going to be trickier to place. So instead, we'll just load up on blueberries. These are expensive, but things are going to like them. Oh, but the maple tree is finally ready to start giving us some maple stuff. So we're going to get tons of BP off the tree points. But now we can plant more blueberries because we're around a spruce tree. In fact, we got 2 of them. As soon as we get 400 points, we're going to plant a spruce tree over here. And at this point, it really doesn't take us long to get those kind of points, considering we get 5 per click for most of these trees now. Okay, I planted my new tree right here, so we're going to see if we can trim this one just a little bit to get it out of the way. Beech trees are hard to grow to adults. Animals like to eat the leaves, stopping the growth. Make sure it has enough space and click the tree to grow new branches if needed. I mean, it looks like it's doing all right. I don't know if there's anything I could do to help it. That probably didn't help it. This little maple down here didn't really thrive, so we're going to go ahead and cut that out. This one and this one can just hopefully get bigger because of that. I need a little bit more tall grass to get a moose. We still got a lot of animals like a bear. The tall grass isn't that picky, it just needs a single animal's manure, and we've got lots of that hanging out all over the place. So we added enough tall grass to afford a moose. We just need 800 BP to do it. But now that it's springtime, everything's going to start producing big. We're going to eliminate this little tree, and then this one and this one can hopefully grow a little bit bigger. year 28 and we just crossed 800, so that means we can get our first moose. I don't know what it's going to do, but it's enormous. So if multiple animals poop in the same spot, it's better fertilizer, so we're going to have multi-poop ground. And I would imagine a moose being as big as it is will unload a lot of that. So when we get triple poop, it turns into this lighter green again, so that's an even better sign. Plus the moose is just a BP farm. It's 3 per click, and I can just click endlessly on it. And I think the hares would also poop, so we're just going to add 3 hares everywhere. That way I can just kind of click everything and we can get all sorts of different manure going down. We saved up almost 2,000 BP by this point, so we're going to try expanding maybe to the left this time. One of my trees died, so it looks like they certainly can eventually die if they get old. So it is going to be a bit of a balancing act to make sure this all grows, because if things are dying as we go, we need to constantly make sure the habitat is there for new things. Like we can't afford an owl yet because we need 2 chaffinches. And for chaffinches, we need butterflies. And for butterflies, we need flowers. So you can see how this is going to start to add up quickly. But now we can afford an owl for 400. Also a lynx for 600 because we have everything we need. So the owls hunt small animals. Click the owl to make it hunt if you succeed. So that's another predator. Probably same with this thing. I'm going to plant a beech right in the middle because it's the rarest, hardest tree to grow right now. And there's lots of poop right there. We could also give the owl a test here. It's going to land. Is it going to get the hare? Maybe. It got the hare. The ground over here is nice and fertilized. I do think the fertilizer gets weaker over time, so we need to take advantage of this ground. We're maybe going to give it another beech tree because they're so valuable. So all we need for a bear now is 1,000 BP and 1 more anthill. So the anthill's easy. We got lots of stuff for that. Now we can afford our first bear, which is probably going to be able to eat just about anything here. Bears like to rub against trees. Click the bear when the back lines up against a tree to gain a lot of balance points. Okay, well, here you go. Here's a tree. Bear? Yeah, there we go. Work it. 100 BP per rub. Yeah, that's actually a huge amount of BP. So between the moose and the bear, we're going to be in good shape. Even just clicking on the bear is 4 BP, and it poops. The bear is the ultimate tool. I didn't realize I could also have animal reproduction on already. Enable auto pooping 1 time a year. 1 time per year? What is that going to do? Does it mean it only poops once a year automatically? That doesn't seem worth it. Or maybe it is if the poop does actually last a long time. Like this ground is still fertilized and I haven't pooped here in a while. We can make the deer auto poop too, and there is 2 of them so far. So in theory, if we add more deer, they'll auto poop and fertilize the ground more. Just need 1 more birch tree that can fit right there somehow, and maybe 1 more birch tree for more deer. Either way, we're going to hire another deer. Auto pooping is already on. We can make it go 2 times a year. Interesting. 3 times, 4 times a year, the deer are going to poop away. So in theory, if I get enough animals, they can auto poop a lot and then we'll make a lot of money. The bear would be the best one to do, but we'll start with the deer to save up money. You need to keep the requirements going. 2 or 3 deers are surviving because we don't have enough birch trees. They never really said how big the birch trees had to be, so we're just going to plant a bunch around and we're going to do the deer poop method. Now we can afford more deer and we're going to turn auto breeding on. So they'll die, but they'll also reproduce and they'll auto poop. And the years definitely go by quickly. And this bear is going to be our moneymaker no matter what we do. So I've got the deer up to 8 times per year auto pooping, and that number's only going to go up because I'm going to start using an auto clicker on this bear. Alright, so there we go. We've created a jet engine. Look at the ground color change. We're fertilizing it so good that nothing's going to stand a chance. This bear's not going to be able to get away from the tree. He's just in a constant state of pooping and rubbing the tree. And we can do it with any old animal, so we can just have an absolute poop farm. So we can turn the pooping up for deer. They're going to go a lot, even though we can auto-click it anyways. But I think what we're going to need is more room to work. It's already costing 1,400 to expand, but we have the poop jet in the bear, so we're pretty rich. Okay, we quickly made what we needed to expand. 1,600 to expand again. That actually won't take long with our what? We broke the bear. Oh no, what's happening? I thought it'd reasonably be able to break the game, but we've overachieved as per usual. Alright, we're expanding 1,800 for the next one. Where's my broken bear? It brings a smile to my face every time I see it. Alright, we can get more bear. These are going to auto-reproduce every spring, but most important, we got more map space. It's definitely hard to get more bears. They need 4 anthills, 2 anthills per bear, 1 moose per bear, beehives per bear, blueberries. It's a lot. Blueberries need spruce trees, so we're going to grow spruce trees wherever we can. We're running out of BP. We got more spruce trees planted. I think the deer ate that little one pretty hard, but that's fine because we'll just keep on planting things. The habitat for this deer is not met. We need more birch trees. I thought we had a bunch of those. Deer are the most basic of all the creatures. Okay, birches only cost 100 each, so we will need some birch trees. Have some of this good fertilized spot. Okay, so now for a bear, we still need more anthills. And for those, we need more butterflies. For butterflies, we can just do that because we have enough flowers. Now for the anthill, we just need more BP, so we'll just continue to harass this poor bear. And then we can get more of these guys. So then we'll check the bear requirements. We got lots of anthills. We need moose and beehives. Beehives just take a little bit of BP. Moose need just a little bit more, one more tall grass, and they're very expensive. This tree might be dead. We'll figure out what that is later though, because we need tall grass for now. And now we can afford another moose for 1,600. The next moose is going to be really expensive. A couple more blueberries though, and we got another bear. We just need some more wildly expensive blueberries. Those are getting really quick, really expensive, really fast. The anthill is not doing well. Luckily we have a spare just for that reason, so we can in fact make another bear. 2,000 BP. We can turn their poop up. That's 4,000 BP. It's really expensive. And I feel like it would be pretty hard to maintain a bear habitat considering how many different pieces you need. Yeah, that tree is definitely dead. I wish I paid attention to what these were. So maybe a maple tree, that's only 100. Yeah, a maple tree looks like it would thrive here. It's 10,000 to make the bears reproduce. I don't know if I actually even want to do that because the new bear is probably going to die. But that's kind of funny at the same time. So let's make the bears auto reproduce. And we got a good way of saving up points by making them poop everywhere. A good bit of auto clicking later and I can actually buy the bear reproduce. The problem is their habitat is going downhill quickly because I'm not really maintaining anything. I'm just clicking on the bear a lot. So before we do anything, let's just give them more room to play. We need more space for these poor creatures. So I'm going to leave this bear here running with an auto clicker for a minute and see if that actually works. And then we'll come back to a boatload of points. A whole bunch of time and auto clicking later, we have 32,000 points and not many animals left. But I figure if we could break the game using any animal, it's going to have to be deer because they're the cheapest and easiest to go. All they need is birch, berry bushes, and flowers. And birches thrive anywhere, so we can throw them down anywhere there's even halfway decent fertilizer. Then we're going to have lots of these, and they're still reasonably cheap. Only 100 BP. So lots of birch trees means lots of deer. So let's throw down as many deer as we can possibly afford right now, and then we'll need more flowers. Which basically means poppies, which thrive anywhere. So we'll put them all in the most fertilized of areas, and then they'll really be doing well. And then we go back to spawning our friends the deer, which are getting more and more expensive, need more berry bushes. Which means we'll need more lingonberry, which means we need more pine trees. Luckily, these are very inexpensive to grow to begin with, and if we need more room, we can absolutely take it. Pine trees over here, and lingonberries over here. This ground hasn't really been fertilized because it was been open space. And so far, I spent 12,000 points on this project, but that means more deer. Now we need more birches. And then we can fit even more in, so we're up to 15 deers. And then we need more flowers again, so it's just an ongoing process. Poppies thrive anywhere, so we can fit a whole bunch in anywhere. But we might need more space, so we'll just throw some poppies down over here in the new space. We're almost out of points again. So we run out of room with berry bushes, so it's actually really hard to just overrun the game with deer. We can increase our production though, actually. We just need a lot of points to do that, and deer aren't the biggest earners, where the bear would be getting 4 times the points for this. But they are auto-pooping a lot, and they are producing quite a few animals per year, I think each. Whatever the case, I'd say I managed to pretty successfully ruin this game with an auto-clicker, considering we get to spam points and poop. And we're actually making a lot of points just off of these deer, like almost 1,000 per second right now, because they're eating up everything. Okay, turns out after so many years, a lot of my trees have just died, so the population for deer is about to get halved just because we can't keep up with the resources. So we could definitely grow it back again, so we have a great deer army that's multiplying every year, but it inevitably collapses in on itself because I'm too lazy to actually put into work to manicure it. But whatever, I feel successful in ruining the game. We're gonna start a little ways in today because I've got something special going. As you can see, our beloved friend currently has 106 poison on him. That will go off at the end of the turn. Now, had I picked up that little bottle, that would have doubled. He would have had 212 poison, which is absolutely absurd. So basically, we have an insane poison build going, and I think it's only going to get better. Plus, we got 2 magnets that suck in all these little knives, and we can throw them all, and each one stacks up 3 poison. This isn't going to be the prettiest grab, but if I can get both of those magnets, they'll take a bunch of these with them. We drop that down. Now watch the poison stack up. Our first item also goes twice. So he's getting poisoned and poisoned and more poisoned, even more poison, and then when he dies, those poison stacks apply to all other idiots. And yes, we do have some damage coming back our way, but I'm not that worried about it because we can take a little bit. Now, as we do this, we're going to hit him with a syringe. This is going to double his poison, so he's going to die, then apply the poison to the guy behind him, which is immediately going to trigger. So I think we're obviously going to need more magnets. We can also fit more things in the machine than we're supposed to be able to. Long story short, I think for these early rounds, it's going to be a little bit easy because we can just absolutely poison everything. The first item goes off twice, so he's going to die just some raw damage before the poison even gets that bad. But then we're going to get to poisoning the guy behind anyway. Now, if we could heal on hit as well, I think we'd be pretty well invincible. We're going to try and pick up some of these purples because one of those doubles the damage of poison, so he's dead. We've won already. We are immediately going to have 25 poison flying at us. That wasn't as good of a first grab as we've had, but I can get a mirror to deflect all that. For now, we're going to start poisoning this guy real bad, and that's going to apply to him and probably insta-kill him once it pops. But for now, I am going to take the safe route because it would be a shame to lose this run at this point. Because that was the only item, we got 2 stacks of it. So he's going to heal himself through the poison. He poisoned himself. Now we're going to throw this whole mishmash of things at them. I don't think I've ever grabbed that many things in a single grab before, but we certainly have now. So he's definitely dead. He is so dead. If we could get anything on hit at this point, anything more, that is, yeah, this is stupid. He's dead. So by the time he's ready to go, we had 58 poison. We hadn't doubled it or done anything. These items aren't really worth it at this point, but we'll stop by a treasure chest to see what we can get here. None of these are particularly good. If I can scoop up only this, we'll get 4% of the coins at the end of a fight. Don't think we're going to hold on to that one. This one, on the other hand, I'll take. This decreases enemy health by 25%. I think it only popped off once, but that's still 25% less health. And then it's right back to work against what should be 2 very strong enemies. I think we're going to make them look stupid. We had a double magnet go off, which isn't great, obviously, but it also doesn't really matter. If we could also even get just the littlest bit of strength, this build will get even sillier, and silly is what we're here for. I tried to grab the double poison thing out of there. Didn't manage to get away with it. But now as long as we do basically any damage at all to him, he's boned. Like even if I grab this and get the little poison bottle out of there, which we actually missed, we'll be fine. That's the beauty of this build so far. We could just literally do anything. He's gonna die. It doesn't matter what we do. He's got 38 poison sitting on him, so he's done and we'll move on. While also collecting more of these types of things, we have the chance to throw some stuff out. So I'm going to get rid of things that aren't helping me. The 3 poison damage to all enemies is sort of annoying me. We need a few less shields and maybe even, well, we're already past what we can afford. Basically, I just need more of the useful items and less of the garbage ones. We can't really afford to use that anyway. This is why I wanted to get rid of some of the shields. They tend to sit at a spot that makes the magnets hard to grab. And if we can't get a good grab on one of the magnets, we can kind of leave a cluster of stuff behind. But that's just a lot of fun anyway. Like, he wants to come at me for 25 damage. We're just going to go ahead and eliminate him. And probably also the bomb with the amount of poison we're about to land on these guys. Well, he landed with 54 poison, so he's got 9 HP left. So he's doomed no matter what we do. So we're going to get some ridiculous stacks of poison. Wonder if we can actually get him so high the game will break. That's my goal. If we could get more poison doubling bottles, I bet we could, because it'd be easy to stack up thousands of poison that way. Oh, look at that. Here's one that adds poison also. So when you hit someone with this, 6 poison. Now, we aren't very defensive at the same time. We have a little bit of healing in here, but we do have a reflect mirror too. So as long as we have those things, I think overall we're going to be okay. Let's go ahead and take a big bite of hopefully magnets. Wow, that was a really bad first grab. Not to worry, I've got a backup plan. We just grab essentially all of this. We grabbed the poison doubler. It was a little bit sooner than I wanted to, but he'll still have a reasonable amount of poison at that point. So he's up to 48 already, and we'll just keep chipping away at him. And it looks like he's one of these watery guys that wants to use water to try and get the better of me. I don't think that's going to work as long as I can get over there and grab that before the stuff floats in. So we'll go right about there, grab a big old magnet. We got a cluster of magnets, and yeah, he's about to get really, really, really hurt. So his block persists in between rounds, but he's also got 107 poison. So I wish we could double that, but he's going to get poisoned out in 2 turns anyway. We just keep grabbing a giant cluster of magnets. I've also got an item that allows us to have more items in the tank at once. That's why we're getting such big clusters of metal things. Okay, well, he's up to 150 poison without even trying, so it doesn't matter what we do at this point. 4 poison per attack? Why not? 4 poison per attack is absolutely stupid. We're going to wreck everything for a few floors, maybe even beyond. And we get to hit him with all of these all at once, and then the poison stack applies to everyone else. So I think everyone's mostly going to insta-die for the time being, provided we get a good grab. Well, actually, he didn't. He's got 55 HP. 55 poison, rather. I should have grabbed the doubler. But I'm just getting in the habit of grabbing whatever I want, and he's dead anyway. We have a chance to get rid of a few more things. I'm actually going to get rid of the big shield, and that, no, I'm not.
Okay, we're going to get rid of a little shield then.
And then there's lots of those annoying shields in my way. So magnets are up. That's a good chunk of damage. We threw some stuff away there, but I'm pretty sure this will be enough to mostly devastate everyone. While that's going on, I'm just going to go ahead and grab another handful of this stuff. Just whatever, because it's not really going to matter. He's basically dead, and he will be after this. Poison stack applies to him, and more poison. He did have a lot of armor, but luckily the poison goes around the armor anyway. I guess a metal shield wouldn't actually hurt either, just in case we need a little bit of defense. And regenerating one health on hit would also be good. It's just really hard to actually get in there and grab that one. Might have it here. Got it. And we got health times 2 there. So now we get healed per hit, which is definitely super necessary considering everything we already have. Come on, magnets, hold together. That was a horrible grab. This one will be a little better. And at 4 poison per plus healing, I think we're going to be okay because we can just ride the poison at this point probably. So we're going to have 13 damage coming back our way. I think I got a pretty good handle on the magnets though. Nothing's going to get reflected, so we can just let it fly. I did also throw the mirror in there just so we can avoid taking some damage. We'll let the poison do the rest of the work. I mean, he only has 170 HP and this is going to stack up so much. I'm pretty sure he's going to be doomed. What we need is an upgrade to our poison flask. That way we can presumably triple an enemy's poison every fight and then we'll really be unstoppable. Let's increase our maximum health by 20. I also have an item where the more health I have missing, the more damage I do. So having more max health is going to work into that. This might sound kind of stupid, but I'm actually tempted to get rid of all the little shields together because they're just getting in the way of my magnet power. And the magnet power is the secret to our success here. Because if we don't get a good grab of poison and stabbing here, we might be in trouble. But he's going to be eliminated and the second slime is also going to be eliminated. Not sure about him yet though. Probably not. But 47 poison, and actually they're both dead. Yep, that worked. On to the next fight, we have a second healing flask in there. So if we need health, we got potentially 20 in one grab we can do. Potentially 30 if we get a double. That was a weird grab. Whatever the case, I'm not that worried about it because we just grab somewhere in here and we'll actually get a healing flask with us, I think. When you get 2 magnets, especially if one is gold, it really carries a lot of stuff with us. So we're going to stack the poison onto him. And I guess that when he dies, that poison stack goes onto him. So I think it essentially doubles up there. Something happens, they die. Do we also want gold coins or is that going to kill my run? We are going to get some gold coins because I'm pretty sure those are magnetic as well. So now we'll do some big weird grabs. Okay, just start grabbing whatever we can. What's coming with us? Ooh, that's not a good sign. We're going to need another gold magnet at this point. Whatever, just keep grabbing. We'll get some coins too, I guess. Our damage was overkill anyway. Oh, actually, we dragged that all with us, so never mind. So now we're gonna get rich and murdery. These bombs have a way of living. They're 88 HP, so we need to keep an eye out for enemies with that much HP. But at this point, it doesn't matter again. Even if we get the poison doubler thing, he's completely doomed. Because he's gonna jump up to 164 poison. That's why we need another poison flask, because then that could double or triple. So he died with 192 poison in his veins. We can't afford to upgrade the poison flask because it's a gold item. That would triple enemy poison, so we'll have to settle for, you know, something else. Probably another... we can't afford anything. Never mind. So I guess it's good. We got some of the Hand of Midas thing too, so we can turn more of this into profit. If only we could do something with the coins to add damage. But I guess indirectly it does anyway, so... No, we don't really need to do a ton of damage here. We don't really have any magnets on board. So we're going to have to eliminate some magnets at the garbage can when I can. Either way, he's going to die. It's not going to kill the second guy, actually, so we're about to take a pretty big hit. Looks like we're starting to get to that point where I might need to slightly start paying attention again, because enemies are going to get progressively tougher, and they're going to get tougher fast. I'd be surprised if anything for a while could live more than 2 turns, though, because like he's going to die, he's going to apply his poison stacks to the next idiot. Should have grabbed some health there. But whatever the case, he jumped up to 110 poison. If there's a guy behind him, that'd be even worse. Natural strength would also be really good. Starting each... Oh, I screwed that up. It would have been so much extra damage. That would have been 3 extra damage for everything I throw. Turns out if you exit the game before finishing the next battle, you get a do-over. It's only giving me spikes or this, so I'll take the antidote. So we remove 3 poison at the end of each turn. It's not nearly as strong as the other thing, but you know what? That's perfectly fine. Now give me some magnets. Please stick together. That should about do it. Everything falls in. And we got lots of shield as well. And we're just going to absolutely poison the life out of that big monster. Well, we're at it. Let's grab a reflecto thing. That way his first attack will get repelled anyway, just in case it's quite big. Oh, and he does all these reflect things too with the mirrors. I forgot about that. So we're going to try and fish out the poison flask and double his poison. We'll just kill him with poison.
Then we don't have to reflect a bunch of damage at ourselves.
We're going to reflect one ourselves. So we're going to reflect the syringe back anyway. That's going to, I think, maybe jiggle back and forth. His poison didn't double. Oh, we poisoned ourselves with that. That's not great. I didn't even realize we could poison ourselves. I thought the poison would go through. Well, we're pretty boned then. Not really sure what to do about that. We'll go ahead and take some HP instead, and hopefully more HP next turn. Oh, we're going to reflect these at ourselves too. Yeah, I'm just going to go for this, and hopefully... Oh, I should have grabbed more on the magnet side. I was hoping I could just tank through them. Well, we're not going to be dead here, but we're going to not be in great shape. We need some of these health pieces. That little thermometer is actually good, because that's going to do damage to him based on my missing health. So I think we've actually pulled this together, but only barely. There's our heal, so we can survive the poison. He's going to shield himself, so we're actually okay, but boy, that was stupid of me. See, no matter how strong I am, there's something that's still able to kill me pretty quickly and easily. We're going to start each fight with 3 strength. That's a huge upgrade. And that will definitely come in handy for battles like this. because all of that is going to be giant amounts of damage straight up, and also just poison. It's going to spread to the next guy, then double to the next one. Then yeah, this is going to be a massacre, and I'm here for it. He's up to 76 poison, so we'll just, you know, grab some heals for ourselves, and we're going to double his poison anyway just to be mean. 152 poison for him. I'm actually going to grab an antidote just because we're likely to do what we did again. Now we got $73, so we can finally remove some things we don't need. I'm actually going to go like that, and we're going to get rid of 3 shields. That way more stuff can fit in the machine and more of the right stuff. And then this battle should go our way a little better. I can grab right onto those magnets right away, I'm pretty sure. As long as I get a good handle on the gold one, the other ones generally follow suit. Look at that big cluster of goodness. And we're going to hit him with a big damage first. Yeah, we're going to kill him with straight up damage. And then, yeah, the poison's going to stack and kill them all again. I'm also going to double his poison, so his stack of 100 is going to apply to the next guy for 136. Increase the range of magnets by 20%. Absolutely, get in here. If I can get... Oh, I screwed that up, didn't I? I restarted, and it seems like every time you do, it defaults back to these. I also rewatched a clip of me missing, and I don't feel good about that. That was a really bad miss. But we got more antidote. Then it's time to once again fight the boss with our giant pile of damage. Gonna work it in here to hopefully get a hold of 2 firm magnets. That's a good hardy grep. Yeah, that's gonna absolutely wreck things. Plus it's up to 8 damage per hit with that extra strength and everything, so we're just gonna keep stacking it up. Wow, we've taken out about a quarter of his HP. And I don't want to double the poison damage yet, but we will hopefully get going with this, the mirror, the reflect, and the syringe. So he currently has 10 reflect on, so I'm going to learn from last time. I'm going to try and grab some fluff. I guess I shouldn't have grabbed the poison doubler. That's going to double my poison, which doesn't have any. Then the game's going to crash. So I guess we'll just try the battle again, starting from the beginning. And maybe we should have it crash again. You know what? As long as we get a magnet grab on a second grab, we're just fine. And that's a good grab. Lots of gold, lots of damage. And curiously this time, he didn't do the deflect thing. He's instead doing a thing, I think, where he doubles his strength every turn. So he'll just do more and more damage as time goes on, which will actually add up really quick. So we definitely need to kill him within a few turns, but I think we're up to that task at this point. Because we're going to rain 121 poison damage on him. Oh yeah, he can't survive another poison hit. But just to be mean, I'm going to actually double that twice. So 480 poison damage. I think he's going to die. We're over 500 poison damage. And he's dead. You regenerate 1 health when you deal damage. So now we're up to 2. 2 health per damage. Really starting to feel like regular idiots like these guys don't really stand a chance. Just based on poison stacks. I know they're going to get progressively stronger. But right now it just seems like a far away conclusion that they could actually win. Because idiot 1 is very shortly about to die. His poisonous stack will apply to that guy. Who's going to... Actually, he did survive that. I like how my cluster of magnets is so big at this point. It's just like picking up a bunch of other stuff with it. So I hit him a few times, start putting some HP back. So these guys are definitely going to try and hit me hard for 38 damage. So depending on how this hit goes, we'll see what we can do to either block that or just try and kill everyone, which might be the case because he's already dead. So the poison stack went up. And this is only the first hit. Yeah, he's literally already dead. So it doesn't really matter what we do here. The poison's going to take him away. When in doubt, more magnets. A cluster of 4 magnets almost seems unfair, provided we can get a good grip of like, ooh, that's a weird one. Uh-oh. So we're going to hopefully grab the mirror and the shield end. We'll deflect 19 of that damage away. Then the next grab will do a little better. We got quite a cluster of stuff going on there. Well, the knight had 40 shield. We're quickly tearing through that, and then we're starting to get his health bar. The poison will finish him and then the other friend there. So again, it doesn't really matter what we do, but we'll try and double his poison just to be mean. Another magnet would be funny, but I think it's getting unnecessary. I also just got another vampire mouse, so we're going to get 3 HP per hit. This giant dumpster fire of damage puts a smile on my face every single time. We got a double magnet, which is functionally useless, but everything else is a lot of fun. Like, that was it. Literally one grab, and he's already doomed. And then we get rewarded. More poison. Then we're fighting a fish and a knight. So if we get a good cluster of magnets, which we did, that should more or less take care of everything. Another double magnet, but that's often going to be the way it goes. Alright, well, he's already up to 51 poison damage, so as long as we can do 27 damage with something, he will die. We don't really have 27 damage on the board here. So we'll just grab some syringes and get those going. Actually, we could double his poison with that. I already forgot about that. So he's dead. He never even got to have his turn. Ooh, we can start with 6 strength now if we can get a hold of this. This is kind of an awkward grab, so we're just going to drop it right where it is and hope for the best. And I think we got it. Yeah, now we're going to start with 6 strength. This is going to get stupid. I do have to wonder how far a run like this could actually take us, because I assume it's got to be pretty far. We're doing so much damage per turn now. Like, even though we're up to 11 per hit, so even if they have 100 health, we could probably eliminate them and then spread the poison to the idiot behind. And then even a regular grab without a magnet is all sorts of poison and damage, and even a reflect on there. So he is completely dead. A holy shield is actually nice as well. That reduces all damage to 1 for 1 turn.
Since we don't already have a lot of shields, that's going to come in handy.
We are going to buy a second super magnet, of course. And I think I'm actually going to shred the thermometer at this point. I just want more items in here and not take up room. And now we've got the super magnets in order. That looks like a good enough first hit. We're going to get lots of shield out of that. And it's actually going to take a while for that damage to finally, land and do its thing. So I'm just going to go ahead and grab a cluster of whatever for now. That was actually like most of the weapons out of the entire thing. We're able to grab them in one go, but now we also have a reflect. He also has 10 reflects currently. So I'm just going to build up some shield. And I am going to get the holy shield on. That way I can reflect his damage back to me, but it's not going to do much of anything. Plus every turn. He's only going to last 5 turns at this rate and then he's dead. Okay, so let's see if we can get into that holy shield. Looks like we got it. Might get that times 2 even. Not sure if that's going to make much of a difference. We already took out a large portion of his reflect, and okay, I guess we did have a magnet in there after all. Didn't even see that. But we're reflecting 1 damage to ourselves that we're going to heal right back on. Plus he's up to 90 poison, so I really don't have to do anything this turn and he's going to die. But I'm going to do something anyway. We can't let him just live peacefully. So I have almost everything from the container. There's a lineup of 400 different weapons, all coming to murder you. Hey look, we can get 5 poison per hit now. 5 poison damage per attack. Look at all the attacks we get to do. So as long as we keep stacking things like that, we could keep going probably for quite a while. Like he's already up to 15, 20, 25, 30 poison damage and he's about to die. So it'll go to the next 2 and we'll continue stacking on him. Once he's dead, that'll apply to that guy and dead. Well, he will be after like I do anything. I don't even need to, I could just end my turn if I wanted to, just to flex on him. I have 41. I really hope that's enough to increase. No, 51. They get more expensive. I gotta stop spending my money on whatever I'm spending it on. Anyways, the very next battle, I've got 2 golden magnets. So I'm pretty sure that's enough magnet power to hold everything on there, which should mean another easy victory. I felt like I was gonna jinx it otherwise, but we're gonna start every fight with 9 strength now. So we're doing 14 damage per knife. But we're not done yet. We can still get a lot more. Didn't mean to grab it like that, but that's fine. The first hit can be a throwaway anyway because the boss isn't going to do much of anything yet. And you know what? We'll go ahead and leave all that there for next turn. And the only thing he's going to do is just double his strength every turn. So it's just a race against, it's a DPS battle. I'm pretty sure we could outdamage him any day of the week, especially this one. So I'm just going to keep grabbing the biggest clump of stuff I can find in the machine and throwing it at him. Oh, plus I reflect his attack straight back at him. Doesn't really matter whether I grab the double poison or just sort of this. And he's dead. He's so dead. Start each fight with 3 strength. These are all really nice, but extra strength is not going to hurt. I might actually have to remove a few items from the vending machine because I didn't get either gold magnet start, and without gold magnets, we are at a bit of a disadvantage. Luckily, I can grab this shield with wings, and that's actually going to reduce all the damage coming in anyway. Because these guys are going to take big hits, but without the golden magnet, we can't quite do the same. When they do spawn in, though, look at all the gold we get. Well, this looks like a good first grab. That's pretty much every weapon in the world all in one grab. We're up to 17 per stab as well. 17 with a basic weapon. That time, I literally grabbed every weapon I could out of the container. Every last one of them. So we've actually straight up just destroyed the first 2 idiots and he's going to die to 124 poison. Then I finally got the money to make another 2 of my magnets into gold. So we have 4 gold magnets. So I'm pretty sure as long as we can get a hold of 1 gold magnet, the others will follow suit because they're very strong. It's actually hard to get them to break. And then the next murdering spree starts. Increase the amount of items if we could drop in the machine by 10. More life leech would be nice. I kind of really want that because then we can get a total of 30 items dropped in the machine, which means bigger clusters of damage. That might slip. Nope, we got it. So I'm pretty sure every item here is gonna fall into the machine. Now, as long as we can get a good grab on 1, 2, 3, 4 of the magnets, yeah, the whole machine's coming with us. Get in there. It was so big that it couldn't actually even fit. He's got 642 HP. We took him down to just about half HP with a single grab. I just wanted to throw the mirror because we'll get 2 deflects in. He now has 1 single deflect to protect himself. He is doing 58 damage back, so if we do get hit, it's really going to hurt. So we'll just do our best to kill him before he gets that opportunity, which is literally going to be this turn. Just to be sure, we're going to throw the poison doubling thing in there, but he's already dead without doubling it. Each attack applies 1 poison. So the only thing that could kill me would be something like that, where if I go to grab the cluster and don't get a hold of a magnet, because I think the power can break outside of that, But as soon as I grab something like that, it's an instant win. I just done what might have been a bad grab. There's a lot of damage coming back. Not enough to kill me, but I ripped one of the magnets out without taking the cluster because our cluster is getting pretty big at this point. But, oh, that's a new one. I think we're going to be okay. Playing a bit further, I've also just extended my magnets reach by 20%, so that's going to mean even more reliable grabs. The game actually lagged there. It pulled so much stuff in, it actually lagged and had trouble sucking that all together. But now we should very reliably get enormous clusters just like that. He has 777 HP. And after a single grab, he's down to 454, and we just doubled his poison to 250, so he's down to 1/4 HP. He does now have 10 Reflect on though, so I'm gonna have to just let the poison do its work, and that's fine because all I really gotta do is just basically that, and he's dead already. Poisoned to death. I grinded a bit further and I upgraded my hand to Midas to make even more gold coins, and I think that's actually going to work against me now because, well, as you can see, it's going to be hard to get that all in there. We're going to be really rich if we can, but it's a lot to stuff into that machine at once. But I did also get another 3 strength permanently. Like, look what I have to try and pick up. It's just a giant cluster of coins. I can't even tell where the magnets are anymore. And the game definitely lagged on that one. We'll just go ahead and ram it in as much of that as we can. I also upgraded my poison flask, so now we can triple the poison that's on an idiot. So he's going to get hit with some considerable poison. We're going to triple that. He's got 450 poison already, so a single turn and he's just about dead. I also got this one blue potion that doubles my strength once per battle. I already have 15, so we'll double that. Now I'd have 30 extra damage for every hit. Not that we need it. We're going to go for more poison damage per attack. I jumped ahead to the boss fight. He has Reflect on, but I've managed to get my strength up to a total of 60 right now. And we can only take 1 damage per hit anyway for this turn, so we can absolutely hit him with this, but we're doing like almost 100 damage per knife at this point, which is absolutely insane. Of course, we're going to have to get through his deflects, so we're going to take 10 damage ourselves, and then we're going to absolutely destroy him, and he has a massive amount of health. Okay, here we go. To start on this one, I'm going to pick up a triple strength potion. Hopefully that lands first. Oh, that could have been so big. Still, we're up to 45 strength, and then we get to hit the enemy with this giant cluster of damage. It's actually lagging the game out pretty... No, never mind. It fell the wrong way. We're going to have a holy shield that's going to protect us. I don't even know if I can grab this. I don't know where the magnets are. This ball of damage is getting a little unruly, but we got it. So he has 1020 HP. We just got to get through the first 10 hits. Once that's done though, we're hitting him for 58 per shot. So we're going to drop him way, way, way down, and then he's going to have all that poison anyway. So we're still making this look stupidly easy. Look at all the damage they have coming toward me. They have 200 HP each, and okay, that might actually kill me. The only thing that can kill me is just having a cluster of damage that's just too big overall. Come on, fall in there. There we go. But look how hard this is getting. Once we get that actual cluster into the thing, they absolutely, like, look, we destroyed him. They have 105 poison. We're still stabbing away. And by the time we kill the last guy, that stacks up to 300 poison, which we could easily triple to give him 1,000 poison damage. And we've increased the magnets by a further 20%, so that's going to be even leggier. That's a new one. Can I just kind of push that in? I can. Sweet. Okay, so we got a free shot. I feel like I only needed the one turn anyway, given the size of our magnets, because he's definitely dead. Then I was fighting the boss again, and I tripled his poison. He's got 2,124 poison damage coming his way, and our magnet range goes up again. Okay, at this point, I'm definitely having trouble just getting the stuff into the machine, but I also realized I've saved up about $1,700, and that number's going up. But that also means the gold knives hit for 189 damage. Now, sometimes it's taking 2 turns because I gotta kind of shove it in like that, but once that happens, they all die. It's also just getting really slow because I've got to wait for everything to land and everything to die. I just dropped something in there. I wasn't really paying attention. It turns out it was my strength doubler, so because it was the first and only item we picked up, that tripled our strength and tripled it again. We got 405 strength. That is an insane amount of strength. So if we get even just a little bit of that in there, okay, never mind, it's falling out. Oh, we got a lot of strength coming. Yeah, the problem is I've got too much magnet power and too much stuff. Like I keep, it just doesn't fit anymore. They're going to make my stuff bigger. But they're going to get wrecked. Look at this damage. 412, 412, 413. And sometime later, I've gotten rid of some of the items we don't need in here so we can better fit the damage down the hatch. It's very laggy. The boss has 2,438 HP, which is actually only a little bit more than I have. But hilariously also, we have more items that can double and triple enemy poison. Oh, never mind. He's dead anyway. Oh, we were going to give him like 10,000 poison. We accidentally killed him. The problem I'm having now, curiously, is I would like to stack up a giant amount of poison on this idiot, but I'm not going to get the opportunity to. Mostly because our money is going up, and I think we just did $1,100 with that single gold knife. So every time we throw one of those, everything just evaporates. So we're doing too much damage to accomplish our plan. Like, that was one turn and a bad grab, and it did half of his HP, 1,700 damage. This second throw is absolutely going to destroy him. There's 1,100, there's another 1,100. And after quickly murdering this idiot on floor 35, that puts us over 100,000 gold. And that adds a lot of damage to my golden knives. And our money keeps going up and up and up. We're already at 108,000 the very next battle. But more importantly, when one of my gold knives hits, 22,000 damage so far. Felt like it was only a few turns later, we're up to $1.1 million, and that's a lot of damage.
That's to get our health bar.
Pretty sure we're legitimately immortal at this point. Even if the enemies have 1,000 HP and these are basic enemies, we are going to absolutely wreck them, because when we hit them now, that is, I think, 240,000 damage. A few minutes later, I've grinded up to 106 million coins. And we can get rid of anything that's not damage or coin related. Even this thing to triple our strength isn't going to factor in anymore. We do so much damage just off these things, nothing else matters. For example, here's what the boss fight now looks like. Mirror goes up and one shot. He's 21 million damage dead. And I've got so much HP at this point, it has to go on different lines because they can't fit. So I have to assume that at some point soon the game is going to break. The numbers are going to get too big. That was 6 million damage for the boss. Looking back, that might have also been 60 million damage for the boss. Either way, it doesn't matter. He is way dead. I just defeated the boss once more, getting to floor 48. I've also just realized we're trillionaires. $1,375 billion. Curiously, the game still hasn't broken yet. It stopped lagging because I removed some of the items, but we're doing that much damage. I think that's 275 billion. I'm not even sure if I'm reading that number right at this point, but I'm pretty sure that's 21 quintillion dollars. That is a really big number that leads to a lot of damage. The game's still not breaking. Unless you count my health bar. I did just notice the damage readout, or the money readout gives a notation. We're back at the boss on floor 56. I have what I believe is 121 sextillion dollars. So that's pretty good for a game where even $1,000 will make you stupidly overpowered. So I think we did pretty good considering we did that much damage and he only had 46,000 HP. So we gotta drill as deep as we can, as fast as we can. So we can find all the valuable resources, get rich, and use those riches on upgrades so we can dig further faster. The first thing we're gonna need is a barracks to produce more idiots, and then we're gonna make an iron factory that produces the iron we need. And then we'll do a lab. Also, idiots, get to work. Mine as far as you can. It's going to cost money to produce miners. We can have 7. We have 4 currently. And we can put them on fast mode because we don't have to wait. And when we want priority blocks, we choose priority blocks. The iron has already produced 1 iron. That means at the barracks, we're going to buy another miner. Because the game is all about mining, really. So every once in a while, creatures are going to try and come out of the dirt and eat us. We'll make those a priority block to eliminate. We have a soldier that's here to try and prevent that from happening as much as possible. They don't do a really good job, but they do a job. And then it's anyone's guess where we got to be. I wish the soldier would not wander away when there's clearly an enemy nearby. I probably want one more carrier. We're leaving a lot of stuff lying on the ground. So drillers, carriers, and we could do one more soldier perhaps as well. But as nighttime falls, we come under attack. Luckily, the first 2 turrets are 3. We're going to put a gun 311 on this side and a machine gun on this side. They both sort of do different things. Also, I'm going to build another iron factory. That's going to cause our first iron factory to produce iron faster. And that's important because iron is everything. Now our guns are going to go to work. Along with our 1 soldier we've got will also help tonight. But the first wave of idiots really isn't anything too bad. They got just a itty bitty bit of damage on our thing. Then it's back to work for everyone. We just need to draw lines everywhere, hoping to go find good stuff. This might be stupid. I'm going to do one more iron factory just because they auto-produce iron and it's actually starting to go pretty quick. I'm going to make another barracks because that actually increases the amount of idiots we can have because we're clearly going to need a few. Especially with the rate these bugs are spawning in. I've been playing in fast forward mode, so I haven't been seeing them as much as I should have been. So what we've learned from that is I probably need another soldier, and then we're going to probably just do another driller and another miner. We've also found something good. I'm going to get a poison turret. That could work good at the top of the shaft, if you know what I mean. So these blocks I'm pretty sure you have to destroy before the enemies pop out, or the enemies will pop out, kind of like that. Oh, you can actually see them moving in the dirt. I never noticed that before. Okay, you guys probably want to make that one a priority. I'm tired of having to replace you. I think I said 1 more miner and 1 more carrier. It's also turning into nighttime already. They really don't give you much room to breathe. Nighttime is quickly falling. I was hoping to just greedily gather a few more resources and back to the surface, morons. I'm actually going to add another soldier as soon as we can. They will actually spread out overnight, so if any of the bugs get close, our soldiers will help. And we can slow it down for a sec, but it looks like our current turrets are more than up for the task of destroying these things. And then it's back to work for our very, very happy miners. Finding lots of the good stuff here, the iron that we need to get upgrades. Look at this thing. Improve the attack rate of all machine gun type turrets. Yes, please. So I guess we'll mostly commit to machine gun type turrets, and I feel like I'm okay with that. One of which is my poisoner, so we're going to throw that down. And I guess that other thing has to go like on a shelf up above these buildings because it's a building. My soldiers seem to be earning their money. They just killed a bunch of things that I didn't even notice. We're going to build a shelf now so we can build more buildings. One of which is going to be the machine gun analyzer. There's so many different upgrades I need right now, and I'm not really sure how to go about getting a lot of them. It's all very overwhelming. You know, this is a priority, my friend. You're going the wrong way. Maybe should have got another carrier rather than 5 drillers, but it's hard to say. There's going to be problems everywhere we look. The soldiers are on the bugs right away, though. We might lose a soldier here, actually. No, we actually managed to get away with that. It's turning into nighttime, but I need everyone to come back to the surface pretty quick. That's not great. Wow, that bug is wrecking everyone. Okay, we got what we needed, which was mostly my building that looks like a skull. Everyone back to the surface, because apparently there's big monsters tonight. We lost some soldiers, but now all of our machine guns should be a lot better. They're all going to fire quite a bit faster. And we got big bugs coming in this wave at night, so we're going to need that little bit of extra firepower to hopefully get through that. So far, we're melting them, so this is good. Alright, idiots, back to work. I don't want to see any more dying. An automatic turret sounds nice. Deals much more damage to enemies with plus 60% HP, sure. Okay, we're clearly going to need another soldier, and then I'm going to put another carrier guy, and we're just going to keep grabbing whatever we can. It's overwhelming how many upgrades we need. Should probably also invest in making these guys tougher, but I should invest in a lot of things. It's hard to know where to start. Think I just lost another soldier, so that's going to be a bit to replace. I got to figure out more like where the bugs come from or how they do that. Okay, I'm starting to think it's like these types of blocks or something. It seems like I'm getting them out of this block in particular for some reason. So now we got to take out another bug. You know, we're just going to mine all of this then. All right, then it's straight back to the surface where our hopefully upgraded machine guns will do some work for us. So far, we're destroying them. So whatever we're doing, we seem to be doing it mostly right. The big bugs are getting wrecked. We've lost like 5% of our HP, so we're totally fine overall. We just need to start making better decisions. Minigun turret. And I'm going to start keeping an eye on where exactly the monsters are spawning from, like right there, so we can hopefully just eliminate it before anything bad happens. I'd so much rather just mine it out like that. Oh, looks like we've got enough coal to mine to the next area anyway, so we're going to do that. I'm also going to build a barracks so we can have even more workers. Okay, I'm bringing everyone back to the platform. We did leave a little bit of iron down there, but that's fine, because we're going to destroy this wave, and then we're going to take the whole platform deeper. Okay, the next wave of enemies has things that are coming in a little bit quicker for sure. I'm not really that worried about that, though. They seem pretty weak. The enemies are definitely getting a little close to my thing and getting some damage down, so we're going to need another tower or two to get through this. I mean, eventually, not right now. I'm not going to bother to put anything down, but we did lose a chunk of health, so good to know. And back to work on the new layer. Idiots go like that. I'll keep a close eye on them this time because I don't know what's down here. We do have extra mining speed too, so we should be able to push in there, but I'm definitely going to go slow mining so I can keep a close eye. And I think because we drill deeper, our turrets are going to sit closer to the top now too. I actually don't mind that one yet. This is a bad block. That's a fire burst. I literally have to micromanage these guys at this point because I'm worried they're going to do stupid things. Mind that, please. Thank you. Next, I'm going to buy the automatic turret. We're going to put that way up at the top. All of my towers did shift down, so it'd be nice to put the poison back up here. I don't know if I can get a full refund for it, though. I can't get a refund for it, so it's going to stay right there. But we have a new tower up top that's going to help us out. Right, we're supposed to be mining. Get that, guys. At least they do listen when I point them in a direction properly. Up top, I'm just going to put another machine gun type turret. That's just going to help thin things out up top, so we have 2 more towers than we did last round. So up top, my thing's doing lots of damage against high health enemies. This one's going to just attack them how it sees fit. This one actually comes with a really cheap upgrade. I wonder if they all come with, nope, the cheaper the tower, the cheaper the upgrade, but that's good to know. This wave doesn't seem too bad, so we're going to hit fast forward and hopefully melt them before they get anywhere close to us. And then by the end of the wave, it's just these 3 big idiots who are going to be wrecked. That one's already poisoned, and that one's about to get shot by that cannon. And then we're going to go back to babysitting morons very, very carefully. I keep forgetting I can pause it so I can be taking a moment to think. I'm going to increase the shooting speed of this because that's just an easy upgrade. So that's technically got 2 upgrades. I'm trying to keep everyone fairly close together so I can keep an eye on things fairly cleanly and efficiently. That way when things like this show up, we can get all the miners there and mine it away right away, except for this guy's completely ignoring that. It's high priority right above his head, but he can't be bothered. We can increase the speed of the workers by 25%. Actually, that's going to be an increase everywhere. We also need 1 more soldier. We also got what's called a shotgun turret. I think that's going to be fun. There's also a dangerous fire spewing block over here, so we got to be careful not to touch that. Oh, I think we can destroy it if we hit it from the right side. I'm just not sure this is the right side, but we're going to find out, I guess. It's probably fun to destroy. It's got to be valuable. Yeah, looks like we're okay, and there's a piece of coal above it. Time for the next wave. I think I'm going to try a minigun turret up top. That used up a lot of our iron, but we're going to need lots of things like that. Because the one thing that could end our run instantly is having these things overrun us. Gonna need another turret on this side, but I might put a poisoner over there given the chance. But so far this is working out pretty good. These guys, I wish I had a little more radius, but it is what it is now. Like even these big ones. These ones managed to make it through unscathed, but then they got a lot of different towers to deal with right here. So they get completely destroyed. And then my beautiful idiots get back to work. We're going to increase the damage of my guards as well. That way when bugs do pop out, they can die. I feel like we're going to just see more and more of them. There's also a building that comes with an ability that I can use during the day to like reveal parts of the earth. So I can actually see what's down here before getting here. I like how my carrier guy's just sitting up here. There's even a block of iron on the ground. He's just sitting there, kind of being like, you know what? Where would I need to carry iron from? Probably the surface. I just found a really, really bad spot to find a fire block. So you guys are going to have to come in from the top. That thing just roasted like 3 of my miners. And when that happens, as soon as we go down here, that thing's going to shoot fire out like that. So that's no good. So we're going to approach it from the top, and hopefully they won't go into the fire anymore. We've also got an enemy in a bad spot. So hopefully we can mine that out without anyone getting in the front of it. And I think we'll be okay. But we've also got all sorts of idiots showing up everywhere. I need to replace those miners that got incinerated. I'm going to try a shotgun turret down here. It doesn't have a huge radius. It can be increased fairly cheaply. Just so whatever bugs happen to make it here should get blasted. And we got some big ones spawning down the side, plus a new one that seems to be drifting around, so that might work out pretty well. So we got 4 plus 3, we got 7 turrets in total, and that seems to be very adequate for where we're at. Looks like only a few of these bugs are even going to make it to the lower layer at this point. I guess the wave is still going, but it's not too bad. I don't know if anything's going to be able to get any damage on our building. So far, nope, nothing in that wave was able to do anything at all. Okay, idiots, back to work. I'm going to get this light bulb thing, so now I can use the ability to see what's down below. There's also another building I can build that's kind of like, I can use it to destroy blocks down below, so it's like a mining assistant. Periodically destroys a random block. Yeah, why not? I'm going to try this new ability like here, and then we can see what we're getting into. That's actually really helpful. The next wave of idiots is already here. Almost missed it. Increases shooting speed of the turret. I kind of want more range, not necessarily shooting speed. But I guess we can increase the shooting speed of a few of these. Maybe this one over here, actually. Nope, we already did that one. What about this one? We'll get to these eventually. Okay, the enemies are definitely doing a lot stronger on this wave. There was a big step up in difficulty there, so we're definitely going to need to invest in some defense this round. Not actually sure what that block is. That's sort of a new one. Turns out what I'm missing a lot of are the red blocks, and there's not a red block there, but there are some other looking things that are going to be really annoying to deal with. Okay, I'm going to put another poison turret up top because we have the money for it. We got some leftover money we can use to upgrade a single turret. I did like how often we can use this light bulby thing to see like a dead end or whatever. Okay, you guys got to get to the surface now. We didn't get any more red blocks that we need for my next upgrade, but we did get an extra turret, and it's a poisoner, so it'll work well up top. They get all the time in the world to get poisoned and work their way down. The extra turret seems to have made a big difference so far. There, to be fair, is just a lot more damage going out overall, so the bugs are getting wrecked. Then it's back to work for the idiots. Okay, we're definitely going to mine those. Starting to get a little confused as to where coal could even be hiding, but I assume it's got to be over here then. Did these guys drop coal? Is that what this is? Yep, that's what we've been missing this whole time. All right, kill that thing. We need more miners. Since I have the money for it, I'm going to buy another automatic turret for the top, and that's going to make a big difference as well. That left side is very well defended. The whole thing's pretty well defended, so I think we're going to be okay. I just need to remember to replace some miners the next day so we can actually do some mining. Wow, those waves are getting strong. Pretty sure the next layer down now should be even richer than this, and we're already feeling decently rich. Could the soldiers do their job maybe and kill this thing? Thank you. I think I've actually mined out everything here, so no one really has anything to do today. So you guys might as well just go to the surface. But I do have enough pieces for some upgrades, so we're going to upgrade our shotgun, and then one of these definitely needs to be upgraded because the bugs will pass by these turrets at speed, but they will eventually stop here, so they're going to sit in the damage. Look at that thing. I don't have a single explosive turret, but because I have this skull building, I don't think it's necessary to have explosive turrets. All of these are shooting extra fast. And so far, I'm feeling pretty good about this. We're getting into the bulk of the wave now, but we're absolutely destroying them so far. Yeah, so far so good. Some of the bugs are sort of making it there, but we haven't really taken any damage in a while. But we've been pretty consistently upgrading turrets because we've been making semi-good decisions. Yeah, we stopped most of the bugs even up top, so we're going to grind down. Wait, we apparently still need one piece of coal. So I guess we're going to go find it down here. I guess the bugs weren't the droppers of coal. All right, everyone to start mining everything for now because I don't really know where to find more coal. There was actually a red piece down here, so we might actually be able to go into there. Yep, found the missing coal. Also another piece of iron and stuff that's tucked way down here where you'd never think there was anything. Dang, I need the idiots to go back to the surface. We had to abandon one piece of iron, but I can't risk it. I'm going to upgrade this poisoner so it's got faster attack speed. And then I don't know if we can find anything else cheap enough to upgrade. And that's okay because we're even stronger. The last wave we made look pretty easy overall. So if anything does make it to the bottom, they do get shotgunned pretty hard. It'd be nice to get that more radius if we could, but I don't think that's even possible. But we got lots of damage going out. We're destroying things. Down we go to a new layer. I'm going to make the mine a little bit slower. We're also going to give the workers a little bit more health finally. I just want them to go slow so we can keep an eye on them because they can get into trouble really fast like they would have there. And clearly there's going to be a lot of creatures popping out of this dirt, so we're going to focus on where they are currently so we can not get ambushed. We found some fire at like the worst possible spot because that's going to hit my miners going through. I don't even know if I can avoid that properly. I think they're just perpetually going to walk into that now. Don't mind that. Get out of the way. Go down there. You're a miner. Go down there. You're going to get idiot. This is why we can't have nice things. Oh, that fire's coming from both sides. Okay, and there's one of those. What are we supposed to do against that? Do we just send miners in like endlessly to try and mine out the fire? I don't think we... Nope, don't go there. Yeah, go there. Just... We gotta kill that thing. I don't know what to do about that. They keep running to the surface when they light on fire. They just stand in the fire anyway. I don't know what I'm supposed to do against that. I'm just being incinerated. And we're getting bugs coming out that are going to do lots of damage as well. Okay, everyone to the surface. Well, that was a horrible first day. We lost 90% of our guys because this situation is horrible. Well, at least the bugs were fairly easy to kill. Look, he just walked straight into the fire trying to pick that up. I don't know what I'm supposed to do about this. Like, I'm literally going to run out of iron. I guess I'm like he can't even get close to it. He just dies. What am I supposed to do here? I feel like I must be missing some kind of mechanic. I guess I can use this to look around a little bit, but like this brave soldier getting right into the face of the fire block. Can you get it? Nope, he can't get it. Maybe this guy though. And now we got a bug that's gonna come up and hopefully get obliterated. It also got lit on fire, which is funny. Alright, we made absolutely no progress that day because we're dealing with the fire block of doom that I cannot do anything about. Hopefully our defenses hold up, but the waves are definitely getting stronger. We haven't really been able to make any progress on anything, so we might be in trouble. And there seems to be a large amount of bugs sitting right here. That would be great. The left side's taken out by the shotgun, but the right side doesn't have the same luxury. Okay, that thing just spat its fire out, so I'm hoping, yes, finally, these guys are able to take it out. You guys don't go through the fire, you morons. I need them to go down to here. Yeah, very good. And then to here. There you go. Now we can make a little bit of progress again. I just, need to buy everything again. I'm completely broke. I'm a little worried about the defense of this next wave as well, too. I don't think we're going to get the funds to be able to increase them. I'm going to increase the shooting speed of this turret by quite a bit. That's hopefully going to take care of the right side a little stronger down here. So while today wasn't a raging success, at least we defeated this little nightmare and got a few iron in the bank. Maybe this wave will be like a better matchup for my cannons. And oh, I didn't realize we actually had that higher up spot now too. We should be poisoning them up there. That way they could poison all the way down. But whatever the case, we'll see how this goes. At least the one we sped up on its speed now can reach almost all the way across, and it's a big hard-hitting cannon, so the faster it can fire is definitely really good. And look at that, it's just that easy. We need to order another person and get to work, idiots. Just need to be a little bit mindful moving forward about what we're doing and how we're doing it. I just lost all of my miners digging upwards into sand just after saying that. Yeah, we're going to build some more miners. This game involves a lot of strategy that I never really considered. Guards, do you see the bug coming in? We might have to just mine that out. Okay, we got another bug showing up, so we're going to have to take care of that right away. So far, this wave seems pretty weak. It's a lot of the little bugs, but I assume the heavies are coming in behind it. Made it through that night fairly unscathed, actually, so we're just going to go right back to where we left off, and I'm going to start very slowly doing this. I don't know down below which one am I. Okay, well, that one obviously got out, so the soldiers can take care of that. We're going to mine this one out, hopefully, before it's a problem. Okay, that day was pretty good. I'm actually going to buy another turret for down here. Probably should have saved up one more day to put one up top, and I'm getting a little nervous about the waves. But I do also have four soldiers down here. I went heavy on their soldiers because I figured I'd need some help at the bottom. I feel like these are coming at us faster than they used to be, but I could also just be imagining that. But we're persevering. I got 6 miners, 3 carriers, 4 soldiers, and a whole bunch of turrets. And that extra turret might actually be doing a lot. It can reach quite a ways out there. And as long as I don't get too much damage down on my core or whatever, then we're going to be fine. Still need some turrets up top, but we got to actually have resources for that. I am finally going to build an extra thing so I can put some extra buildings in should I want to, because we could do a lot with more buildings, obviously. I'm going to get one of these mini drill launchers. I could have used one of those before. I could have used that earlier to destroy the blocks that were in the way. Because I'm pretty sure that thing's going to be mostly invincible. Kind of like that. That was actually perfect. I can actually afford one more turret, so I'm going to put one right up at the top. So at least that'll thin out some of the bugs or get some damage down way up top. He's already going to work. So then there's 3 layers of turrets the enemies have to get through, really. The first one's not very strong, but the remaining 2 will certainly mess them up. This wave was definitely pushing a little harder again. I think that's going to be the end. That turret almost single-handedly killed a big boy. We still have like a fifth of our health left, which is actually quite a bit. I wonder if I can send the drone down to like destroy that bug thing. Well, there's no soldiers nearby, so that was maybe a bad move. Now the soldiers are on it. They'll kill that thing and we'll just keep on going. Of everything here, I want to probably the splitter periodically shoots lasers at underground monsters. The underground monsters are really starting to annoy me. It's the end of the next day. The wave is done. I'm going to put another poisoner up here just to get some poison damage going down on some of these idiots. Because by the time those things make it all the way to the bottom, that poison might have run all the way through, and especially if they get shot by other things as well. These big ones are especially good, because that one was shot by only 2 bullets so far, and look at his health dropping. Everything seems to be congregating on the left, which is great because that's where the shotgun is, and the shotgun will make quick work of anything nearby. It's a good thing I have that thing to see through the ground because there's a lot of hidden problems down below. One of which I'm hoping to destroy right now. Yep, we sure got that out of the way. Okay, but for the next night, I want another machine gun catalyzer. That's going to further increase the rate of every turret out there. Then we'll find out if the extra attack speed was going to be enough to make up the difference. Because the enemies were starting to sit on my doorstep, so I need to get rich to afford a new tower. They're starting to get pretty close already, so that's not really a great sign for us. But maybe it's a more consistent wave. It's not end heavy. Maybe it would have helped to throw an explosive turret or 2 in here somewhere, but so far we're actually doing alright. Yeah, actually that made a really big difference. Like the bugs hardly even touched me. Okay, so we just destroyed an annoying thing down there. We just need to find the last piece of coal and we can actually leave. Might have actually found it down here. I think that's coal, and I think we just had another miner to replace some of the ones that were recently deceased. So it looks like he might have the last piece of coal in his hands. We need to get back to the surface pretty quick. I did also buy another grabber guy. Okay, we actually did it. As long as we can survive this night, we've succeeded. To make sure we're going to get through this night, I'm going to do speed shooting for this top turret. Now it's just a matter of surviving the night, but our turrets are slightly upgraded, and they did really well last wave, so I have faith in them. This one in particular was upgraded, so yeah, he's just going to soften up a whole bunch of creatures. This one by itself is actually taking out quite a lot. It's just non-stop firing, and that's what we need to see. Yeah, I think we're going to be okay with this. See what's coming down the pipe still? Yeah, the turret's absolutely destroyed. Once we got this second skull tower thing, the turret's really stepped up. Now that we've reached here, we can hold G and leave. With valuable resources for permanent upgrades. The end. I know you're probably wondering why I've drawn this perfect circle. Well, that's because it's made out of fertile soil and it's a great place for trees. And one thing that trees really have trouble dealing with is fire. So our objective right now is to cover this entire ring in very, very flammable items. And already once time is released, a lot of trees start growing. But as much fun as it would be to make people eat trees, we need to give them a little bit of food. I hope they like flammable berry bushes. And then we need to decide on a few animals. Which one is the funniest to light on fire? You know what? I'm going to go with a cow. I think they'll actually burn for the longest. And they're the biggest, therefore they should distribute the most fire. Because a well-fed fire is a happy fire. So welcome everyone to my world of perpetual burning. The idea being that if we place a few humans here, and down here, and over here, we can then start a small fire at the top of the ring and it will eventually go around the whole loop. And it will go around the loop again because the trees will grow back behind it, so it's literally just a world of perpetual burning. Now, naturally the empires that start building right here are going to be at a disadvantage. The fire's going to reach them the soonest. The guys down here, they have the best chance of surviving the longest. I'm not sure how they're going to deal with the fire, but they have a minute to figure it out. I can't help but notice the animals are a little bit attracted to the fire, so maybe we need a few chickens and quicker moving animals. That way they'll run into the fire and spread it around quicker. The fire is currently headed towards the ocean, so we need more of it. We're going to have a few lightning strikes. That's going to add a little bit more fire to this equation. And the fire is so big now that we can actually see it all the way zoomed out. And it looks like the people are well on the way to building great empires. They're slowly expanding and even building boats. They're making their way around the ring, slowly expanding, but I don't know if that's going to be to their benefit. Because that fire isn't going to stay up here forever. Especially considering we can actually turn the temperature up a little bit should we want to. And I think we're going to do just that. This increases the temperature, makes everything a little hotter and drier. On top of all that hilarity, we're about to move into the Age of Sun. This is a time of intense heat and brightness, where the sun blazes down on the world. Now we're getting somewhere. The cows have to run into the water to avoid the fire. All the trees died in the Age of Sun, so the fire is really spreading quickly. The world population is up to 75 people, so they're still doing all right. They are able to cope. Another fire has spontaneously broken out down here, but I'm going to go ahead and put this one out. We got to give the people a little bit of time to deal before this fire gets to them, because this fire is coming. I can slowly hear animals being set on fire. What is this thing? Inferno aura. Okay, we now have animals literally made of fire. And you know what? That just suits this world even. Okay, I've got lots of fire creatures. A blaze protector? The people of this world are really doomed. The fire creatures have run ahead of the fire and are now battling the kingdoms. That was an unintended thing, but that's still pretty funny. Not only do they have to prepare for the giant wall of fire that's about to destroy their entire world, they've also got to fight off fire demons while they wait. This man's name is Sitchum. He is 35 years old. He is also on fire. But maybe if they burn for long enough ahead of time, they'll actually be fireproof by the time the fire gets there. Another fire has broken out down below. I'm actually just going to let that one roll. We might as well. The Age of Sun's going to have enough heat that we're just going to have fires everywhere. As long as we have the main one going. And here we actually have fires in behind the fires because the grass grows back, but then that also lights on fire. Ironically, this is one of my most successful worlds. It's already up to a population of 205. The people are constantly running ahead trying to fight the fire demons. Here goes one now, but he's running straight into the fire because he's highly intelligent. He's now literally on fire and he's now deceased. The demons show no mercy to anything. They're now fighting a horde of chickens who they're probably going to defeat. On the low end, the fire has entered Great Adichie, so we'll see if they're able to put the fire out or not. And up top, the fire is getting close to the borders of Great Soof. And on the other side, it's also getting close to these guys who were somehow already on fire. They screwed up so badly the fire didn't have to reach them for them to burn. So needless to say, these guys probably aren't going to fare very well in this world. These guys are actually coping with the fire somehow. I think he actually has buckets of water. These guys might be smart enough to put it out. Yeah, they're literally carrying buckets of water. They're smart enough to put the fire out. So these guys get it. These guys might not have invented buckets yet. They're a little bit on fire. These guys also have buckets. They're actually putting a fire out. It's spreading quickly because it's a very hot, dry world, but they're doing their best to defend it. If they can stop the fire, that might also stop the fire demons. The strong will survive. The weak will burn to death in a horrible, horrible fate. But I feel a little bad that I forgot to give them ore, so I'm going to give them a little bit of this stuff. It's not flammable. I don't think they can go on it, but I think they can mine stuff from it. I'm also going to put some ore down here in the flammable spots. Again, they can figure out how to get there themselves. They got to walk through the fire if they want it. They are smart enough to jump into water. As soon as they light on fire, they dive right into that ocean. I think they might be going for the ore at this point. They're excited. They can use that ore to make new buckets. About 3/4 of their entire time and resources is going to be fighting fires. It's going to be constantly on the doorstep no matter what they do. And that is on both ends at this point, so they might want to think about expanding their population. They're going to lose a few to burning. I do have to say, they're doing a lot better than I thought they would. Once I saw how fast that fire was spreading, I got worried. But they dive into the fire, light themselves on fire, then jump in the ocean. The empires down here for some reason didn't survive, but this place has been absolutely perpetually on fire. These guys expanded for a second beyond the fire, but then the fire demons ate them, so they had to give up their outpost. But I'm pretty sure as long as they're reasonably advanced and can make some tools and weapons, they'll actually probably survive this. Though the leader of their army is stupid. He has very little intelligence, diplomacy, warfare, stewardship, loyalty, and fertility. I'd also like to take a moment to point out this wasn't actually my idea. This came from the comments in one of my previous World Box videos, so thank you to everyone who gives me these wonderful fun ideas. Because what could be better than a world of endless suffering and burning? They jump out of the water, they run into the fire. They have to jump back in the water because they light themselves on fire again. Orange on this side is actually really starting to expand their empire. They've got like a 6 of the wheel on lockdown. And the fire is actually getting further away. They're actually getting ahead of it. But this was never supposed to be an easy place to survive. It was supposed to be an absolutely miserable place to survive. And I think we're done good at accomplishing that so far. The advanced civilizations actually do really good at fending off the fire for now. I don't know what's going to win long term, but they are able to keep it back at least for now to sort of thrive. Now, we know orcs are very tough and overpowered, and they can survive in really weird places, so if we throw a few orcs down in the middle of the fire zone, can they actually set up a thing and survive this? I think they're probably just going to burn alive, but I'm really curious to see. Yeah, that seemed like a short-lived empire. So nothing's going to be able to spawn and thrive up here, but if they push in from the outsides, they might be able to do it. Like, these guys are already moving into the ore zones. And they've got plenty of berry bushes, they've got boats, they've got everything they need. It's just that fire is forever encroaching their territory, so they would be really wise to fight that off. They have an army with all sorts of different traits, but no weapons or tools whatsoever. Here comes the savior of the world. He had a bucket of water. He's thrown it on the fire, and that fire is not stopping for anyone. You know, if they could have strategized just a little bit, they would be so much better off. These guys have actually pushed way up there too. They've actually put out the fire in the middle and pushed all the way up to here. They probably want that ore or land. These beautiful morons are actually doing a lot better than I thought they would. Their population is actually slowly increasing again. We finally found that balance where they found a spot where they can thrive and grow. We do continually get these sort of spontaneous explosions of massive fires though. I'm not really sure where those come from, but I'm very happy they exist. They are starting to get some stone swords, so they're going to be better to fight off the fire demons even though they explode in a ball of fire. But as more time goes on and they move into the ores, they'll get better tools and weapons. It's already been 160 years of perpetual burning. But here come the reinforcements, so they're going to have to kill the fire demons, then put the fires out, and then really push this back. They might have just lost a large part of their empire. Don't these guys know they've got to be... Are they fighting each other? The thoughts of existing in a box descended the citizens of Ohio's into madness. These guys might have gone insane on themselves, so they're destroying themselves, or their neighbors are attacking them. Okay, the bucket man is coming. They really just need an army of bucket men. That would solve like 99% of their entire problems. Okay, here we go. We got 3 bucket men coming to the rescue down below. They actually might have saved this house. Those fires are moving. Oh, those are people. They would be wise to get a handle on this. That fire's getting awfully close to their destroyed capital. See, just when you think they're winning over the fire pops up in a weird spot. It absolutely decimates them. But this whole world can't be just all suffering. We got to give them some kind of safe haven. Should they feel like expanding their empire, there is now a tiny island in the center of it all, made of fertile soil. And there's a crab enjoying the sand at this current point in time. Well, they managed to get the fire pushed moderately back for now. They've got to focus on sort of rebuilding their internal empire, and then they can go fight the fire again. They literally just tried to expand into it. A blue box just appeared here, literally right here. They tried to expand into a world on fire. You know, if they had half a brain at all, they really wouldn't struggle with this. They just make really, really strange choices. The Orange Empire is also getting it pretty hard. They lost this whole section due to fire. And the lower section, not going so hot either right now. The world population has dropped again by 20%. But the fires at this point are a little more in like waves. So if they manage to kind of get a handle on these, then they could actually put all the fires out right now if they ran for it. Instead, they just want to keep expanding into land that's literally on fire. Why do they keep doing this? Every time there's a fire, they're like, yeah, we should probably build a village there. Really good idea. Good news, a blazing heat wave has swept across the land. That's sure to mean more fires popping up in more places and probably just faster fire spreading. See, this is why wars are bad. If you're fighting other people, you don't notice the fire inside you. That fire is so deep in that empire, it's starting to tickle. For some reason, the king of this empire is up here playing in the fire. I don't really know what to make of them anymore. He does actually have regeneration, so he restores health over time. But he also just burned to death. But whenever we're feeling stressed, we just need to take a quick look at Crab Island. Look how much real estate they have suddenly. They should really be taking advantage of that. These guys lit a fire in the middle of their village. They're so hopeless. There's no way they're going to be able to survive this. And they're once again expanding their outpost into land that is currently fairly on fire. Not as bad as it has been, to be fair, so maybe they are getting better. Oh, they actually did it. They got up there and put the fire out. Look, we have miners. They're mining tools finally. This is going to make them so much better. Look at them being preemptive. He's carrying a bucket of water to the fire instead of letting the fire bring itself to them. Never mind, I think we have a heat wave going. Oh, we finally have archers. That's actually going to make all the difference in the world. I don't know what's happened to the Orange Empire, but I turn and look back and they're actually pretty on fire on either end. They're kind of getting complacent when it comes to firefighting. The Purple Village 2 must have started a fire right in the center of their thing. This might be the end of them, because that's really burning up a lot of their important stuff. And instead of doing something about it, they're just flailing around, waiting to die. The neighbors also came in to presumably fight the fire demons, or they're actually at war with each other. Yep, they're just straight up at war. They probably saw how on fire they were and thought, great, that could be ours now. Yep, here comes the whole army. That's probably also going to get lit on fire pretty badly. So they've succeeded in taking over the neighbors, but they might have also just burned their army alive while doing it. So I don't know if that's a profit or a loss. On the other side of the empire, though, it's all peace. These guys are just happily mining gold and swimming in the ocean. Look at that. It's 2 empires now. High versus Great Soof. Orange versus blue. In theory, at this rate, the humans will actually win over the fire, because their empires are slowly expanding, so the fire has less room to spread. I just got an achievement for whatever that was. Finding an something crippled. Pretty sure everyone in this world has some health problems. If the blazing heat and fire doesn't hurt the people, there's probably a lot of lung damage due to constant smoke. Considering this is just a perpetual life of this, you're fighting a fire, some fire demons come out, you kill them, they set everything on fire, you burn to death. This guy's got a legendary stone weapon, the Smort Sculptor. I think he's the captain of the army though, so they are trying their best to take over this area. The fire horses won that round. While that was happening, the whole bottom half of Orange's empire got destroyed by fire because they weren't paying attention. If they could just keep their archers alive for longer, they would do so much better. This guy's actually getting really strong. His partner is a toddler. He's literally 1 year old and he's out here fighting the fires. And we got another heat wave, so we're going to get some more spontaneous fires in places that are really disadvantageous. We're cruising along at a pretty good speed now. It is year 214, very soon to be 215. We are blazing through time, so we're going to see how these empires progress. Jumping ahead to year 228, and the population is still actually slowly growing. The orange, they're maintaining population but losing ground, but the blues are actually expanding slowly in either direction. Many horrifying years later, and they're slowly expanding their empires. They got the fire somewhat under control, but they always do until they don't. Mostly because they get a heat wave every quarter of a year and the years are going by in a couple seconds. The biggest problem is they just can't help but throw themselves into the fire. They see a fire, they just jump themselves right in. And they're not taking advantage. Look at all this free real estate. They can move right into that worry-free. The fire's burning to the left for once. My poor crabs are getting lonely. I can't believe nobody wants this space. Look at this guy's stuff. I got an achievement just for clicking on him. He's got a whole bunch of legendary stuff. He's got 49 kills. He might be the chosen one. He can even carry buckets of water. Oh, the fires are doomed. Well, instead of putting his time to good use, he's just wandering around the village and picking berries. So we'll leave him to that for a while. But as long as the blue team has him, they've got a good chance of defeating the fire. Every time I think things are going okay, I turn around and then fire has wiped out half of an entire empire. So I think at this point we can actually call it a draw. The fire gains a little ground, then the people do, then the fire takes it back. It's just an eternal battle of just pure suffering and torment within the fire. But we're going to actually remove them from the Age of Sun now. They're going back to the Age of Hope. It's a little bit less hot, so trees and stuff can actually grow again. Fires shouldn't burn quite so frequently. Actually, they all went out up top. There's still a lot of very flammable creatures around and obviously a lot of very flammable trees. But they very quickly put all of the fires out. There's still a lot of creatures that make fires, but the fire won't spread nearly as badly as it did before. So without the world being an entire tinderbox, they're actually able to defeat the fiery creatures and put out the fires right away. And quickly in 100 years, they've tripled the population. But of course, they start fighting each other as soon as the population hits about 800. We can't have them fighting each other. They need to be fighting fire, so we're going back to the fire times. So already we see the problem starting. There's a little fire zone popped up in between their empires, so they're not going to put that out quickly. This is going to be the new danger zone. Pretty sure I just heard a meteorite land, which decimated the capital of whatever this is. Also, meteors spread a little bit of fire, so they might want to get on that. Yeah, they're actually putting it out pretty promptly. They're a pretty organized, efficient empire. They did have 100 years to thrive, so they better have some technology by now. This definitely isn't the same hero we had before, but he might have actually taken over his stuff. I don't know where he got this stuff. He only has 2 kills so far. He's also just hanging out in the middle. Yeah, okay. Blue has officially won. So now we need to see their firefighting skills really put to the test. I'm going to sprinkle some of these like every o'clock all the way around here. 1, 2, 3, all through 12 o'clock. And see if they're able to put out all the fires or they all burn alive. Yep, they actually put out the fires within their borders right away. The only ones they didn't touch were the ones in this little spot that they seem to ignore. But that's what happens when you create a world of perpetual burning. All we need to do is follow the instructions. This should be easier than your mom on a Saturday night. Please choose a password. Password. Well, we got it right that your password must be at least 5 characters. It must include a number. Password 1. It is unbreakable. And we're up to 9 whole characters, so that would take a lot of time to brute force. 1 uppercase letter. Password 1. Your password must include a special character. I'm a special character. I'm also trying to do this in a way that it's easiest to type because I'm extra lazy. Password 1 with some emphasis. The digits in your password must add up to 25. My first thought was, okay, good, I'm going to put a 24 in, but that doesn't work now, does it? So being the efficient moron that I am, we're going to go 9 plus 9 plus 6. Could you imagine if all passwords were this difficult? I feel like that would actually be a good thing in a way because people would get their stuff broken into a lot less, but we'd still be spending our time making passwords. Your password must contain a month of the year, May, and a Roman numeral as well, I. I is a Roman numeral, isn't it? Oh, a big case I. Password 1996, may I? Moving on to rule number 8, your password must include one of our sponsors. I think Shell is going to be the easiest for me to type out. Starbucks wasn't going to happen. Pepsi, not bad. Shell's the easiest. The Roman numerals in your password should multiply to 35. So are they multiplying themselves? So if you go like V would be 5, and then I would be 1 and 1, I suppose. 5 times 1 times 1 would be 5. I can see now this is maybe going to get difficult. Okay, turns out the multipliers, so 7 times 5, 35. And that definitely took 35 seconds longer than it should have, but all the rules are good. Rule number 10, password must include this CAPTCHA. I think that's an XGCXY, and it's happy. Your password must include today's Wordle answer. Seriously? Do I actually have to open up Wordle? What's Wordle? 5 letters? We got a 5-letter word, and I'm panicking on this one of all of them for some reason. Okay, I just did a Wordle and it was crowd, which it doesn't like. So, alright, I guess we're gonna do a full game of Wordle to see what the word is today. We're gonna start with guess, which is a terrible way to start, but we'll see if we got any letters, not a 1. Okay, for our next horrible one, we're going with trick, which should get us hopefully something. Okay, we're eliminating a lot of the letters that it's not. There's probably an A, there's probably an O. We're going with board. Is that gonna get us anywhere? We got the O and the A. The O is in the right place, the A is somewhere else. Given what we have, WOMAN could actually be what we're looking for, and it is absolutely not, but we eliminated a few of the others. Something that actually fits very nicely is loyal, and we got a winner. Okay, so adding loyal into that, it actually worked. I don't know how it knows what today's Wordle answer is, but that's okay, we're moving on. Okay, another tricky one. Rule 13, your password must include the current phase of the moon as an emoji. I have no idea what the current phase of the moon is. After quick googling, I've learned that the moon is in a waxing gibbous phase today. How to demonstrate that with an emoji, I have no idea. So another quick Google later, and I have exactly what I need. That's a waxing gibbous moon, which is the moon phase today. Now we're going GeoGuessr with it. Your password must include the name of this country. We're allowed to take a look. Well, it's something very tropical. It's very blue water, Caribbean. Is it the Bahamas? It's not the Bahamas, so we got like 90 other tropical countries to go through. I'm thinking that if I just spend enough time kind of looking around, I'll eventually get some kind of clue, but so far all I know is it looks fairly tropical. Okay, I think I found exactly the clue I'm looking for. Israel it is. I can only imagine these are gonna get harder. Your password must include the best move in algebraic chess notation. I don't even know what it's asking me right now. But if I'm understanding this correctly, it's asking what my next move would be, which would probably be the knight to this space. That should put it in checkmate because I think that's their king, and then it can't move anywhere else because the castle, I can't remember what it's called, will kill it. So I'm pretty sure it's going to be like E4 to F2. So we're going to put that down for now, E4, F2, and then we're going to figure out how to actually make that make sense. Okay, turns out I just had it. It wasn't the knight that had to move, it was the rook. The rook had to move to G1 and the plus means it's check. So it slides up, check. Now the digits in my password must add up to 25. So we have 9 plus 9 plus 1 plus 6. So we've got to remove some somewhere. And I can see how this is going to start to get annoying now because this was also one I skipped over, including a leap year. I just happened to have it earlier for 1996. So we also need a leap year, but it needs to be a smaller number. And I think leap years happen every 4 years, so we just got to subtract back from 1996. We could try 1980, and then we could just add some numbers at the end to make it add up to 25. So I think if I just throw a 6 somewhere at the end, then that's just going to work. This is my chicken Paul. He hasn't hatched yet. Please put him in your password and keep him safe. Okay, I think we can just go ahead and put him here. And the elements in your password must have atomic numbers that add up to 200. Okay, so we have a PA, an I, an S, an RG, a VI, and an IV. I don't know what their atomic numbers are, but I'm gonna have to look that up apparently. Well, PA by itself is 91, and I'm gonna have to put a separate notepad up to start keeping track of this. So as it currently sits, we're gonna have to do some restructuring. because the eyes alone add up to 159 because there's 3 of them. But thinking about it, we can actually start to use some of these rules to our advantage now because we need a uppercase letter, but they don't necessarily all have to be. So if we turn Israel into Israel, okay, it likes that. Nothing happened. So as long as we leave one capital here and there, we can take out the higher of the problems. So what we're looking for is arsenic. Arsenic twice. So we're at an even 200. All the vowels in your password must be bolded. I feel like that's going to be a problem. Bold. Bold, bold, bold. Why do we have to do it this way? But so far, okay. What is, oh, it's a fire. Oh, okay. No. Oh, we're losing the whole thing. That's actually hard to put out. Okay, good. Right back to where we left off. Yeah, that sucked. The benefit of recording this as I go is I can just look back at my previous recording, and then when I want to copy it, I can. Now, if I want to put it back, it's as easy as pasting. So I guess I'll go back to work putting things in bold, and hopefully there's not another fire, but if there is, all I gotta do is press Ctrl V. Your password is not strong enough. Does it need one of these? I think it needs one of these. Oh, is it gonna trick me though? I should put this on the clipboard somewhere, shouldn't I? Because I'm worried it's trying to trick you because you have to rebuild all that, so now you copy it, so now if you do it again, it's going to make another fire. Or this is just a more mundane trick than I think. It's not strong enough, so we add a few more of these guys. Now it's strong enough. Your password must contain one of the following. I am enough. Because I'm not loved, I'm not worthy, but I'm enough for, I don't know, moths. And we got that in there, so we ruined our elements again, and I need to bold some more things while watching out for fires. Paul is now hatched. Please don't forget to eat him. He eats 3 caterpillars every minute. Not on my watch, he doesn't. Paul can starve. Okay, I guess he's got what he needs. Whatever, Paul is happy. Your password must include a URL of a 4-minute and 50-second long YouTube video. How do I even find that? So for that, I literally just searched into YouTube a 4:56 video and scrolled. Paul has starved. I forgot about that. Wasn't 3 minutes. That wasn't even close to 3 minutes. Okay, Paul is starved. I don't miss him. Because Paul is starved, I think we need to actually restart. Okay, the fire came back, but I put it out before I even had a chance to record it, but it didn't do too much damage this time. CGB. And Paul is hatched. Now I need to feed him these. Oh, which Paul is it? Can I get rid of that one? I didn't realize I had 2 Pauls. Okay, so he's going to eat a lot of these. He eats 3 every minute. I thought it was 1 per minute for 3 minutes. So we're going to give Paul lots to eat so he doesn't ever annoy me ever again. Paul was overfed? You kidding me? I think Paul's my mortal enemy. We need to do something about Paul. But now we have an interesting advantage. We know what to expect. And now that I've had a little time and space to think about it, we can do it easier. So I'm going to put him up here near the beginning where I hopefully do not have to mess with him ever again. He's going to hatch here. We're going to leave that spot well alone. And stupid Paul has hatched, so we need to give him some of these. I didn't realize before I could put them away from him. So if we put them here, we don't risk deleting Paul and ruining our game. Now we need a 30-minute and 40-second YouTube video. The biggest thing in this game is just remain calm. Don't panic, you have plenty of time if you're calm. I have found what I'm looking for, the right length, and that was accepted, and now we got to change everything around again. They must add up to 25, so I need to actually take a look at this link to make sure nothing here is going to work against me in the future. But because there's an 8 and a 9 in the link, I might actually have to find a different video, or I can try and peel my leap year even further back into like 1. Okay, year 100 was a leap year, so I only have 1 digit to deal with there. That's perfect. That's going to help me out in a big way. Okay, so I once again rebalance things so the atomic numbers add up to 200. The YouTube link is going to be the biggest problem because it's got a capital D, which is Roman numeral 500, which obviously adds up to more than 35. So the YouTube link is very important to get right. So good news, everyone. Right as I found the link to the new video, my power went out, so we restarted again. It is actually days later, but we're right back to where we were. Luckily, I have to find a video with a much shorter length, so there's more videos, so I have more options for this. So right now, we're just following back to the rules. Okay, it turns out the link I had wasn't going to work. There was a Roman numeral in it. We can't have any of those. I think I got one now. I think no Roman numerals, but I've said that before. Okay. For the first time ever, it feels like we're actually making progress. Now we need to add them back up to 25. That's easy. We can just take out some of the other numbers we don't need anymore. Which brings us to rule 25. A sacrifice must be made. Pick 2 letters that you no longer will be able to use. That's not a great deal of fun. It says I'll no longer be able to use it. I don't know if it would invalidate it moving backwards, but X's there's a V. There's all sorts of things that are really gonna hurt to lose. But I did just realize I don't think I have a Q anywhere. I think a Q and a J are going to be the ones to remove because I doubt I'll need them or miss them. I've never used them in my life. So Q and J, sacrifice, everything is okay. Rule 26, your password must contain twice as many italic characters as bold. Well, there's already a lot of bold. I can count these out, or I might just start changing them until it's happy. Okay, I think I counted even 25 bold, so we need 50 italics. Okay, I miscounted the first time. We had 26 bold, therefore we needed 52 italics, and I missed like this L. But we're good now. Rule 27, at least 30% of your password must be in Windings font. So I can't change any of this, I don't think, into Windings, because then it's not going to be valid, and I especially don't want to delete my stupid chicken. But I'm pretty sure there's nothing that says I can't just go like this till it's at least 30%. And the password's going to get longer, but at some point this will take up 30% of the password and everyone's going to be happy. Perfect, we're happy. Okay, that was a really easy rule. I was concerned it wasn't going to let me do that, but we got away with it. Your password must include this color and hex. See, that's going to be a problem because that's going to add letters and numbers. And also, I don't know what this color and hex is. I'm also scared to open Photoshop because it's an Adobe program that's going to crash my entire computer. A little bit of struggle later, I think I've got the hex code, and of course it's in Windings because I didn't change it back. So that's probably not bad. Those are low numbers. I think I could work with that at least for now. Well, you see, this could be a problem because I've got the hex code there. I've tried on 2 different monitors to get this green, and I'm pretty sure that's it. So now I don't know what to do. Okay, I'm not sure what's going on with the hex code. It's accepted it, but it hasn't accepted it. It says all Roman numerals must be in Times New Roman. That's rule 29 after the hex code, so that's fine. We will change these to Times New Roman. Okay, it turns out for the hex code, all it wanted was the pound sign, the number sign in front of it. I did the Googling. That was apparently the most likely cause. Turns out it was right. We're moving on. Yep, so these just get more and more fun. The font size of every digit must be equal to its square. So a 5 I think has to become 25 because I can think. So I think that's what it wants me to do. It seems to be liking that so far. The square of zeros and ones, it doesn't seem to like them already, but we'll figure that out. I guess they're a default size. So this is also going to get hard too because like I turn a 0 to a 0 and it turns into literally 0 size. So these will get hard to see, and well, we'll work with this. We'll figure this out as we go. And a 2 becomes a 4. Every instance of the same letter must have a different font size. Outstanding. The best part is, for all of my Windings, I think I use the same letter a million times over, so those all need to be different sizes. Well, at this point, we're just kind of committed, so I'm just going to start changing things into, 12s, 13s, and if they don't like that, we'll change them again into a 16. We'll make it work. Okay, I'm not sure what happened. I must have deleted something because suddenly a lot of my things changed, so I've got some catching up to do. I still got to change a bunch of sizes of these things, unfortunately. Okay, my strategy now is turning these into B's because that's whatever that symbol is, and then I can just change it to whatever size I need it to be, and we're just going to gradually work our way along. Okay, I got all the sizes different, so every instance of a letter is a different size from every other instance of the same letter, including the stupid Windings. I also had to replace a few numbers, so we need to change these back into their square sizes, so they're going to get really small and basically invisible. But we still need at least 30% of my password to be Windings, so we need to add a few different letters in Windings. Your password must include the length of your password, which I think is 169, so that's going to add some numbers that I don't love. If I'm understanding that that's what it wants, we're going to add 169 up here. That didn't seem to work because it's 171 now. Okay, so 171. Does that make it happy? That seems to change a lot of things that didn't make it very happy. I don't really know what it wants. It's 170 now because the stupid chicken keeps changing. But that seems to be what it wants. It depends on how many caterpillars there are, obviously, because I need to keep adding these because it keeps subtracting them from me. But that's probably a pretty good sign that we're getting close to the end. So we're at 170, 172. So if I put 172 right now, a lot of the passwords are happy, except I've got to make these a perfect squares. And we need to have things add up to a certain size, so we're going to get rid of some of the old numbers we don't need anymore. Okay, for now I'm going to go for 170 as the amount I need, because that's when I have 5 caterpillars. So if I had 5 caterpillars, it's going to be very happy. And then the only thing I need to do is numbers up to 25 and twice as many italics as bold with 5 caterpillars. So right now I'm just slowly making anything I can italic. I didn't do a lot of the like equal signs and slashes before. I can do that now until it's happy. Although it's continually going to be a rebalancing because now the 30% rule doesn't work. Okay, now the only rule we have is must add up to 25 as long as we have the correct amount of caterpillars going. I don't exactly know where all the numbers are anymore, so this is going to get difficult to make it add up to 25 because there could be numbers all throughout here that are just too small to see anymore. Okay, to try and track down the numbers that I'm missing somewhere in here, I'm just going to copy paste basically all of this and paste it in a notepad to see what I'm missing. Okay, factoring in the hex numbers, all I had to do was change a 4 into a 1 because we had to subtract 3. So now the only thing I really need to change is twice as many italic as bold. I don't know where we're at for either number. I can't see anymore, so we're guessing. Okay, I got it. I changed a few windings into italics and I was happy with that, and we're on to the next rule already. So we're going to put a few more caterpillars in. Okay, so the length of your password must be a prime number. Okay, so that's going to be a problem. 171, it might actually be a prime number. I think we picked 170 though, which isn't a prime number. Okay, it turns out 171 isn't a prime number, but 173 is. So I've added 2 more windings. That did change the numbers around a little bit, but that's going to give me a prime number on 5 caterpillars. Then all I need is the digits of my password to add up to 25. So I'm just going to once again count them all up and see where we're at. Okay, I'm at 24 up top. I adjust the hex number down below, so we need to balance those out. Then we'll adjust the numbers up top. I'm scared to change things at this point, but I'm pretty sure if I change this 5 to a 2, that adds it up to 25, and then I just need to change it to its appropriate size. So if I change this 2 to a 4, then as the thing cuts down, your password must include the current time. That's not fun, because I need to add 3 digits that are also numbers, so that's going to change the whole equation again.
Rule 35 sucks.
Okay, it's coming up on 3 a.m., so I'm just going to put this in right now, and that's going to sit there for a sec. Then I'm going to take away 3 windings, and hopefully this doesn't cause anything too major to blow up. So we need more windings though, because at least 30% needs to be. So we're going to have to fight through this for a minute. I did just realize though, I can use the caterpillars to adjust the sizes need be, so I can stick to 173. I just need to make sure all the other rules work. As long as I have the right amount of caterpillars, as soon as I hit the right time, which is in 4 minutes, I think we've done it. Yeah, that's it. All the rules are happy. Everything's happy. I just need to wait until the right time, which is in 4 minutes. Yeah, I think the biggest secret to doing this is just to stay calm. Don't panic. Just stay calm, place caterpillars, and think. I guess my only concern now is how the time needs to be laid out. It's coming up on 3 a.m., so I put 3.00. So hopefully it's okay with that, but it's about to tip over to 3 o'clock exactly, so I might have to replace the caterpillar as it does. It's 3 o'clock. It's 3 o'clock. Why doesn't it accept the time? It's 3 o'clock. I did it. Oh, wait, there we go. Is this your final password? Yes. Retype your password. Okay, I did copy paste it. I've been copy pasting it as we go. How much time do I have? Okay, I think I can do this. Okay, we're gonna paste that in. Your passwords must match. The sizes are different, aren't they? Oh, I've got to retype that whole thing. Didn't realize I had to do it like that. I might have copied it somewhere else had I known I had to repeat this. Well, I mean, this is the password. I just need to follow the rules. Like, these are both size 1, etc. So I might actually be able to do this. I'm going to blame this on how late it is, but I just realized finally as I was doing this top row and getting it almost done that once you get the letters right, the pink background goes away. So I can actually just adjust these as I want, and it will confirm when they're right or not. Look at this beautiful art I've created. We're so close. It's just this one L that for some reason doesn't want to play ball. It exactly matches the L up above. Everything else matches. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. And just to make sure I'm not going entirely crazy, I've moved this whole thing into Photoshop. I've cut out the upper L so I could set it beside the lower L to see if there is a difference. They look the same to me, so I'm not sure why this one is somehow not matching this one in the game's eyes. But hilariously, I'm sure one person's going to watch this video and go, oh, by the way, it was something like this. It's that easy. And then I'm going to feel stupid. I think I actually figured it out. I was just about to close it when I decided to zoom in and see the other L beside it to see if there's anything strange going on with it. If I delete the other L, look what happens. This cell goes into the right place and it's happy now and everything else gets mad. So I'm pretty sure I just swapped the L's. The small L is supposed to be this one. So I'm hoping if I turn this down to 25, oh, maybe it still doesn't work. Well, I've again tried every combination of bold, italic, and different sizes. I'm considering that I won the game. They match, good enough, I'm out. While we are collecting literal buckets full of gold, we're gonna need this times 1,000. So we've got a lot of work to do. I want a literal mountain of gold. Just need to make the absurdly fun drive into town. And why do we have a bucket of iron with us? We're not gonna be needing this anymore. Now to go find a nice piece of land to build a massive hole in. This seems to have the girth we all know and love. Now we just need to make a hole. And the quickest way to do that, believe it or not, is with all this stuff. And luckily I've been collecting some assorted stuff this entire time.
So we just need to do a little bit of high effort grinding.
And 10 Harry Potters later, we get a modest 2.25 million pounds of gold. Now I've just got to do the same with the rest of the garbage. And we're also going to need to do a little math, which apparently I'm not very good at because I don't know how we ended up with 5. Anyways, now that we've got enough gold to give King Midas an erection, back to the store, where I've realized I can currently only get the tier 2 shop because I don't have core stone. I'm also missing a lot of brain cells, and since we need core stone to make basically everything, we're gonna work with TNT in our hands for now. Now we gotta find how deep we can go before it starts to hurt. As it turns out, pretty deep. And then he realized there's a much easier way of doing this. Step number 1 is to get hopelessly lost in the fog. Step number 2, ride the boat. Step number 3, buy a lava tank, which is basically Batman's car if he were an arsonist. But oh boy, I can't wait to get this back and drive it all the way across the island.
It's going so fast it's hard to see the scenery.
I've never been so happy to see a barren piece of land in all my life. It feels just like home. Now I'm going to be honest with you, I struggle to use so much as a microwave, so this is going to be an experience for both of us. Okay, I see they actually made it pretty dummy proof. You tell it to dig down and it digs down. It's actually not the worst hole I've ever dug. Pretty sure we've got the depth we need, now we just need to set up an entire mining operation. And I'd wager the best way to do that is going to be to cannibalize this little operation. So as long as I manage to grab mostly one of everything, we're going to have what we need. And here it is, isn't it beautiful? And there's a reason I made this a truck-sized hole. I've also cleverly realized we weren't really that deep, so I hit the ground with my tier 2 pickaxe and it mines the ground, which means we need to go deeper to find the better ore. So Arsonist Batman needs an upgrade. And I will never say no to upgrading an instrument that's used to light things on fire. I had to watch better YouTubers to figure out where to actually put this on. It turns out you just drop it on there like a magnet. So then I realized if you get a second one here, you can go even deeper, but that's at the tier 3 shop. Or you can just cheat like me and go like that. Double the power for double the fun. But because I have a way of ruining everything ever, I'm going to go down to tier 2 for now, just in case that's the limit of what we can mine. It would be a real shame to mine out all the tier 2 dirt, only to find out it's what we have to mine. Now it's time to go through the colossal effort of setting up a mine. I'm going to take an especially stupid gamble at this point and hope that if I set these on top of what I think is a tier 3 dirt, that's going to work. Also, normally these are hard to get, so I'm going to have to do a lot of grinding to get more. So these guys should all be mining, they'll send those stuff along the conveyors and to somewhere else. And I was pretty close with my initial estimate of where I needed to send this thing, but we got more flamethrowing to do. And as per usual, I've made a flawless, seamless, efficient operation so far. As per usual, a completely necessary conveyor system. Probably need to make a little extra room for the plumbing. Now we gotta bring the spicy water over. And finally my mulcher is ready to go. Now I just need to actually produce water and bring it all the way down to these guys. This is where I'm gonna get my water from. The spicy water is gonna tee off here and go into this, and that's gonna produce us our ice, which will eventually flow through pipes and go that way. I'm gonna be candid with you, I did not think this through. But we'll figure it out. Why go over the mound of snow when you can just mine straight through it? Finally got the water all connected, need to put a booster here, but then I remembered I need lava for all of these. So we need to feed those from up here. This one really just is the gift that keeps on giving. Definitely could have done that much better, but the important thing is it's all connected. And this thing seems like it's ready to go, so let's give it something. Already made a mistake if this thing is on backwards. And I forgot that it itself needs some lava, so we're gonna have to sneak in under that. I hear a good sound, things are working, so now that's gonna go into there, it's gonna give us water that's gonna feed down and make the conveyor go. So these things do seem to be working at this depth, so that feels good. We're gonna put a lot of materials up. We're also gonna need a centering thing. We're probably going to need a lot of things, including a faster conveyor. I added 3 glowy bars here that are gonna make these guys hopefully produce a little more, but those conveyors definitely need more speed. It's so slow. It's so painfully slow. I let things run for a few minutes to see what we'd come back to, and it turns out the farther along the conveyors you go, the slower they get, so everything is backing up there. Luckily, I know where to steal a booster. And several Harry Potters later, and we have 4 boosters. I would say by the way the game is lagging suddenly that the conveyors are moving quick and things are getting processed up top. We went from normal frames per second to 1 frame every 5 seconds. 10 minutes later, I managed to get the game to catch up with itself and stopped everything. Because our materials suspiciously only seem to make it as far as here, which makes me think we might have a backwards conveyor. I've tried to remove this one and I think I broke the game. There's a million materials sitting on top of it. Okay, I had to make the terrible sacrifice of removing all the ice chunks from the world, but things should start rolling along a lot better now. For at least about 30 seconds until I make my next decision and do something horribly stupid. And it's finally raining materials. Decent sized materials at that, so we just need some of the red stuff to fall down and then we'll be in business. That didn't take long at all. Perfect. We're finding this much faster than I thought we would, and I'm going to store all the core stone in here where it's nice and safe. And it's also a good opportunity for me to go like that and I can just multiply the bars now. And if I stand over here, we can do it nice and quick. Now we should have all the core stone we could ever need. There's probably 10 million pounds. And we're finding about 60% more cloudium than I thought we would be finding already, so that bodes well for what lurks down below. But this is going well so far. I'll let this pile up for a bit. And there we are, a tiny mountain of ore. After all this work, I can finally take what I need. And I can't believe how long it took us to get here. But I just couldn't live with myself if we kept a pile of gold this small. All resources gone. We've got big boy dreams today. And we're going to use big boy numbers to do it. Tier 3 shop. And hello beautiful. And we also need to start creating our own tools, which is going to take a minute because instead of buying them from the shop, we need to drive all the way up there. But what else am I going to do with my time? Have happy, fulfilled relationships? So to build a tier 3 pick, we need 120 cloudium, 370 core stone. By that, they probably mean a couple 100,000. One dramatic nightmare later, and we have an advanced ice pick. And it's only now that I realize I probably should have brought the designs for drills and mulchers too, because now I have to drive all the way back to the store and then all the way back up here. I carry around 4,000 tons of garbage in my truck, but never the things I actually need. Though I do now notice that the tier 2 shop, the lava drill has a 1-star output size bonus. The other one had much bigger size. But I'm pretty sure I can make even better again with a little forging ingenuity. But just in case I screw that up, there's a 2-star output size bonus. Now that I brought my 3 friends to the top of the volcano, we've got something else to find. These. Probably lots and lots of these, because these actually make my smithing better. And the best part is, to carry the giant acorn, I need to go all the way back to the island to grab a truck so I can haul these around. Do you think it's big enough? Gonna go ahead and call this one the compensator. At least it's a little easier to take shortcuts. Now it's just a matter of using this magical beast and getting the big acorn on board. Then we drive all the way over here and leave them on the furnace. Now I was fully prepared to drive around and find each and every one of these on the map, but then I realized I can just Harry Potter them to duplicate them and they'll produce their stats once they're melted. I wasn't really sure which ones are going to have good stats, so we just went with the numbers option. So as the ones on the bottom shrink and turn into what we need them to, the ones on the top will slowly shrink down and start melting themselves. So I'll come back in like an hour and we'll collect these things. Well, it worked better than most of my ideas do. Well, that's a bucket of fun if I've ever seen one. So my understanding is that if I add a few balls and then forge, it could potentially enhance the stats of whatever it is I'm making. This has +1 dig size bonus, so it's garbage. So it should only take a few thousand tries before we find one that's 6 stars. 100 million forges later, and I have a 6-star, 3 speed, 3 dig size. So now to repeat that very painful process with 3 more items. We got a 6-star heavy lava harvester. I think that's gonna make us some resources. But I also need to bring my heavy truck up here to pick this thing up. Which means going down to grab it from there, driving it all the way around the volcano, and then up the volcano. Lucky for me, I found a shortcut. First monstrosity loaded up, now we need to make another. 45 years later, 6-star drill. And fortunately for me, the lava intake booster hook, which is very expensive, has no stars, so I can just use whatever I make. First things first. A garbage tier pickaxe mines this quickly and this little. A basic tier 3 pickaxe mines considerably quicker and bigger. And the mega pickaxe does much bigger, much quicker. We could definitely actually move some dirt with this one really quick. So we'll make sure we always have a few of these around. But now I think it's time we jumbo fire a mine. My lava thar is set to maximum power, so we're going straight to the bottom. This is a place we're familiar with. So the next challenge is going to be getting this thing down to the bottom. But I think I've got a pretty good idea how to do that. We just need a few nuclear-sized explosions. Luckily, if you put these all together, they will set each other off and make a really big explosion. We're only now down to tier 2? Look how big the explosion was. Maybe the flamethrower is faster. Many hours later, I think I finally got this to where I actually want it. So we're going to lower that thing all the way down into the hole and forget it exists for a while. But I also need to carefully find a way to duplicate this so we get more in a row without having to maneuver them too much. Now that I got my alignment, I can see we're going to need a lot more room. All it takes is a whole bunch of well-placed nukes. I just really hope they don't blow up my rare drills. Now we just gotta do sort of a ridiculous fishing game, and I didn't want that to come all the way up. Well, I somehow managed to get 2 properly placed. Now we just need another 8. Yep, this is going well. I finally got the 8th drill in place, and boy isn't that a lot of fun. I was just thinking how I'd rather lay in a pool of lava than do that again, when I realized that from this one forward, they all turned 90 degrees, so I've got to hook onto each and every one of these and move them. That's okay, what's a few more hours? And the best part is, once I make them fly, I need to set them down very gently in a very little spot, otherwise they get all caught up. And they do fun things like that. This is so much fun. At least most of what we need is already in place, we just gotta build up to it one more time. Wouldn't want to forget to juice these guys up. I've got the water all plumbed in up to the conveyors. I still need to build the conveyors up to there and set up the mulcher up top. All while trying not to think about how many hours this is taking. I officially have everything plumbed up to layer 2. We just gotta figure out the end of the conveyor belt. These are definitely hard to see, but I've got 4 lava hooks on there, all increasing pressure by 30%, so that's at least 120% going that way. The mulcher might actually be pretty easy, because we can just set it anywhere and bring the conveyor to it. We're getting so close to our mountain of gold now. And finally, the conveyor goes all the way to the very hungry caterpillar. The last thing I think I might need is more water in here. And I know just the thing to get us lots of water. One more of these things. Then I just gotta reel up another one of these things. And bury it half under the ground for some reason. But that doesn't matter because we now have the super pickaxe, so we can move any amount of dirt we need to. I guess I'm gonna need a pretty big hole if I want to fit one of those big things right below it. Since I've already spent 45 hours doing this, might as well do just a few more. Instead of driving the truck around to grab this thing, I'm just going to keep going like this and teleport them over. Alright, this little setup will hopefully serve all of our water needs forever. I finally just realized now also how big my operation is. There's all sorts of things going everywhere, so hopefully it works. The only way to know for sure is to plug this in and turn it on. Everything should officially be moving. These had me worried for a second because they weren't yet spitting anything out. I've just got to turn them on. Those seem like really big pieces of ice. So far so good, there's only been minor hiccups. We're finally about to find out what these guys can spit out. In go the materials, out comes an absolute ton of all sorts of materials, and it's huge. And it's already backing up because I didn't really do anything with this. But that's fun. Also, I'm not really sure why this drill isn't working. It might have to be down below to actually work. And the next step into making a giant gold mountain is to have a place to drop it from way up here. Every step in this process really just took a long time. But I can't help but notice this conveyor is faster than that conveyor, so we definitely need more water pressure. What we don't need is more gold. We've got a lot of that on the way. And now we get to make a joke about golden showers. Yeah, we're gonna find a lot of really big resources. And they'll just rain down for hours and hours and hours, and before you know it, we'll have our mountain. I suppose the speed overall doesn't matter. The harvesters are all working at capacity to put a lot of materials up here. As long as they are making it to the very hungry caterpillar and then up to the conveyor belt, we'll get our mountain of gold. I mean, considering for how short of a time it's been, we've already found an impressive amount of resources. So we'll come back to this in 12 hours. Many hours later, the game is completely frozen. I cannot turn the camera, otherwise I will look away and never be able to find the gold pile again. But I'd say we succeeded in making a mountain of gold. The save file also takes 2 hours to load in, literally. So I guess we'll try and make a bigger one next time. We've got a lot of morons to kill in very little time to do it. Luckily we brought our obnoxiously overpowered pink laser with us that's absolutely melting everything, and we can only upgrade it from here. +1 projectile, plus 50% damage, faster cooldown. And now we can hit 2 babies at once. They dropped enough experience to upgrade again, +1 projectile, +1 penetration. We're going to be penetrating all the creatures of this mystical world today. And we got a duplicator tome, which apparently is actually an evolution with the fire thing. So that's good to remember, but an extra projectile should pair with all the weapons. Because I was just thinking that the enemies aren't evaporating instantly, so we're gonna need a little bit more. So in saying that, let's get a crossbow to take advantage of the extra duplicator tome, so that we're getting many more projectiles. I'm gonna get the speed tome because apparently that pairs with the crossbow anyway, and we like evolutions here. I am a big fan of how I can fire at enemies that aren't on the screen, so I don't have to move anymore. I could just be lazy, everything dies, we get the rewards. Let's bring our crossbow up to level 2, that gets extra 50% damage. And while we're at it, duplicator tome, extra projectiles. The next harder wave begins. So far I'm feeling pretty confident about our chances. Those goblins were wearing helmets, so they can absorb a little bit of damage, but there's always a follow-up shot.
They can't handle the penetration today.
It is pretty satisfying when they line up in a big clump and all the shots just go through them, hitting a million idiots per shot. And there's my level up. I'm going to get fire orbs because it combines with my duplicator tome. And I think we just get like fireball protectors around us. So if anything does manage to get close, it will be set ablaze before and or after the penetration occurs. And wouldn't you know it, another level up. Attack 10% faster, yes. That basically means 10% higher DPS. We're already attacking plenty fast. Then we're going to upgrade the duplicator tome, get 3 extra projectiles, so everything is firing extra. Now we have 5 fires circling us. I took damage for the first time, mostly from being stupid. I walked right into a horde of enemies because I thought they would die quicker. There is another level up for us. We're going to upgrade the arcane wand again, +1 projectile, extra damage, even quicker cooldown. All the upgrades in this are very tempting, like I like all of them so far. Oh, a boss, good. It's a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle, but we're going to murder and penetrate him. Not necessarily in that order. Okay, we got our fire shield level 2, so that should be, I don't know, stronger projectiles, more projectiles. And turns out he was the end of the wave. We're doing well so far. +1 penetration, arcane wand. Kill as many enemies as you can to get bonus coins. I can do that. Run straight toward me, morons. Maybe if I hold still, it's going to be better, because then they can come at me from all directions. If I push in one direction, I might actually see less. Oh, they're actually getting close to touching me. I'm the one who's going to do the penetrating here today, alright? Wow, that's a lot of idiots. Okay, I see now why this is a bonus. And using the riches we got from murdering all those morons, we get some talents. We're going to take 5% extra damage. And then we're going to roll it again and take another 5% damage, which means we get to try the Dark Forest, which is actually pretty light in color for a Dark Forest, but we'll go back to penetrating the woodland creatures. I'm not really sure what we're firing at. I think we're one-shotting them off this screen. Our extra 10% damage probably doesn't hurt. Ah, here's some woodland creatures now. Okay, so we're doing 11 damage, so we were presumably doing 10 before. That's a lot of creatures though. That's a lot of creatures. Okay, holding still might not be the good strategy anymore. But we did level up already, so we're going to upgrade our arcane wand for now because that's going to fire extra projectiles. We're going to need the extra projectiles. The trees actually block us from moving too, so that's going to get pretty annoying. Okay, we're going to get arcane wand again, extra projectiles, extra damage. This thing's already doing 17 damage. That's such a big increase. We went from like kind of killing the enemies to absolutely destroying them. Let's try the bomb. Randomly blasts around you. That sounds like something I need. Maybe I don't love the random part of that so much. It's better if it's coordinated, but I mean, eventually there'll be so many enemies, it won't matter. Those guys got blown up. I think the bomb did 11 damage to everything in its radius. Okay, that's a whole stream of things. That's where we need to land a bomb on those things. Gotta be very careful not to get caught in a stupid spot. That would be very easy for us, as we often do, but we absolutely destroyed the bird things. Another level up. Let's attack 10% faster because that's going to apply to all of my weapons. The timer is up, so we can just go ahead and do a duplicator tome. Now we get an extra projectile for all of our weapons. That's such a big damage increase, and we're just waiting to kill the remaining 30 morons. And we leveled up a bunch after all that. So we're going to get extra projectiles, and we're going to get extra projectiles again, and then faster attack. So just to start this wave, we should actually be quite a bit stronger. Yeah, we are rapid firing projectiles now. And we're firing many bombs out in all directions. Those ones went right off the screen, so I have no idea what they hit, but I'm not that concerned about it. In theory, if the bombs go far enough, they have to hit something eventually, whether it's innocent or not. And we finally got another level up, so let's attack 30% faster. The faster we can attack, the more we're going to get through these morons. Oh, there's a boss already. I didn't expect one on this wave. Alright, well, we're going to make sure we have a clean area to maneuver around him, because if he hits us, it's probably going to hurt. We'll get a little bit of fire on him here too. Yeah, he likes the fire. Okay, we're going to get out of the way in a hurry, and then we're going to get back to him with a little bit of fire. He died and gave us some treasure. Leveled up both fire and bombs, so both of those are going to be a lot stronger. The bombs I don't love so far. If we make them huge, they might be more fun, but I think I'd rather have a crossbow. Either way, we're just murdering everything anyway, so I'm not really gonna complain. The birds are doing a flyby, they weren't even close to hitting me for some reason. But there's a level up we've been looking for, level 4 Arcane Wand. And now it's just a matter of mowing down every enemy in sight. There's only 15 of them left, so I think we got this one in the bag. Arcane Wand again, because let's face it, it's going to do all the heavy lifting here for us. And at the end of all that, we got to level up, so bombs. Better bombs again. The bombs actually be really good for the bonus level where there's lots of idiots, because it's basically just survive until you die anyway, so we'll let the bombs go and destroy a whole bunch of them. Well, we're getting lots of upgrades, so I'm not exactly feeling this strain, but we do have another boss coming in. We got him with some bombs. We'll get our laser beam on him. We could do the area tome that will eventually evolve the bombs. I'm not sure which one we need to get high enough to level up, maybe both. Maybe only one of them, so maybe if we get the bombs high enough level they can evolve into nukes or something. So far we're absolutely destroying this boss, that much I know. And for our trouble, level 5 bombs. Okay, which is max level? Level 5 is where things top out, so we might actually be able to get an evolution. Big horde incoming, therefore big penetration incoming. That actually lagged things a little bit. Alright, that is a big horde. We're going to start moving maybe down this way. Yep, good. It's a little thinner down this way. Down we go. Good. So far so good. 20 seconds left. Yeah, I think we're going to be okay. We also have bigger bombs, so if we can fire some of those out behind us, we'll really thin them out. Oh, there's another nuke thing. So if we manage to blow this up, yeah, that should... oh, that actually just absorbed everything. There we go. X-42 rocket. Shoots enemies randomly. Each rocket contains multiple bombs. We're also going to get a crossbow at this point too, because that's just an extra weapon. Increase area effect by 30%. That's just going to make our super bomber even bigger. And then I guess more crossbow power, so now we have multiple weapons. Wow, that bomb really worked well. Okay, enemies are officially dead. Okay, let's get more crossbow then. And then we're on to the bonus level, which is considered, well, difficulty easy so far. We'll see how many coins we can get out of this with our super weapons. We have a lot of different things, a lot of different projectiles. We'll see. Enemies are still very, very tough here. Gonna have to eat a little bit of damage here. Gonna have to eat a little bit of damage here. Bombs, please go off more. Wow, these guys are so tough. But we unlocked whatever this thing is. On top of the rewards, I also got Ranger's Armor, which is great. That's going to give me extra health and cooldown. And then I can also spend 100 gold to upgrade my hero itself, which should give us extra damage and HP. And we can use all the money we got to also get more talents, some of which are going to be rare. Critical hit plus 1%, yes. So if I'm understanding this correctly, if I reshuffle, I have a ×2 chance of getting better stuff. Effect duration, extra dust per run, probably good. I don't really know what that is. And we get to open another chest. We got a Ranger's Hood. We can open one more. Yeah, let's try one more. We're going to get better gear. Rogue's Armor. Well, the Ranger's Hood will give us health and cooldown. The Rogue's Armor is just armor. So we'll get right back to work with our newfound damage, and we're also going to get better evolutions again. We're hitting for 12 base damage now instead of 10, so we definitely have a solid 20% increase in damage already. There's also a recovery tome that works with that. Restore 40% of max HP per minute. That actually sounds pretty strong. So maybe we could just evaporate things around us using our golden aura. It seems to actually hit reasonably hard. I'm glad he showed up in the first wave though, because he drops a chest full of items, and items help us a lot. We have HP recovery, so we can get a little bit in his face. I probably just don't want to be hit by that other attack. I think we can finish him off here. So we need to upgrade our Arcane Wand pretty bad at this point. Plus we got our chest with another Arcane Wand upgrade. So that actually makes us quite a bit stronger right away, because now we can fire that thing at everything. Those little birds are coming at us, they're just going to evaporate. I kind of like this evaporation thing. It means I can be lazy and just sit here. Recovery Tome. Let's get more of our HP back. Divine Aura is going to be much bigger and much quicker. Arcane Wand is going up. I want to try and get this to level 5. We're also going to get faster attack speed too, because that's going to help our aura anyway. Maybe we'll get lucky and find some legendary gear for ourselves that's going to give us all kinds of better perks. Then we'll make bosses evaporate. Recovery Tome. Restore 100% HP per minute. So that's got to add up, because we have a decent amount of HP. That would actually work better too. If we were able to add HP, that's just going to make that power stronger. And there's a level 5 we needed for the Arcane Wand. So more speed and penetration, and here comes the boss. Along with the big horde. Luckily, if we get our aura right on him, yeah, we melted him with that. And the aura got stronger because of it, and I think that was AoE also. So the big horde's going to try and get to us, but I don't think it's going to do it. This feels fun though. All the experience is coming to us finally. I don't have to try anymore. There's a bunch of birds coming in also. Nothing can make it through this aura right now. Try as they might, we just pop them like grapes. And all the experience is just sitting around us, waiting to be picked up. We're going to increase AoE by another 10%. Divine Aura is going up to level 4. Attacks are going to be 30% quicker. Wow, we got a lot of things. Let's do a duplicator tome for extra projectiles. These just don't stop. Extra projectile again. So our aura pops even bigger. Now it's taking up a large amount of the actual screen, at least hamburger style. So I just need to find a nice spot to sit and we'll let the idiots walk into our damage. So far my lazy strategy is working very well. We're currently level 17, we have 1 minute left. Plus we have that massive HP regeneration that I forgot about. Level up again. Let's take a crossbow to also help us since we're firing lots of projectiles at this point. Those can just help us, you know, pick out bosses and stuff. Speaking of bosses, yeah, get in my damage. Use it right there. Perfect. You can damage me a little bit if you want, but I recover it so quickly it doesn't even matter. And he's dead. Which upgraded my crossbow one time, which is fine. We're gonna pop all those. There's a big horde incoming, so I can't wait. Leveled up yet again. Divine Aura level 5. It's getting bigger, it has extra pushback, and it's quicker to attack. So yeah, it's definitely adequately sized at this point. The big horde is doing its best to get to me, but they're nowhere near touching me. And we got its evolution, Vampire Aura. Damaging enemies in a circle and heals you. Healing power increases with the number of enemies affected. So that's gonna be good. We're protected by a monster truck tire. So we're just gonna plow through all of these morons and it's gonna heal us to do so. Now we're just gonna wait to finish them off. I don't feel like chasing them around so they can come to me. So on top of that, let's get some fire orbs to help protect us. Like a lot of fire orbs apparently. And I think we found that boss I've been talking about. So yes, it's a boss fight, I could tell. So we can hurt it, but I think it can also hurt us back probably. But we can also heal through it. It's summoning little spiders. It's trying to run away. It's scared. Its little spiders can't make it to us though. Okay, the game didn't love whatever that was. That's okay. We're going to sit right here and just melt it with everything. We're also healing ourselves rapidly by doing this. So far, we're making the boss look pretty easy. The fireballs are also funny because not only are we like vampiring it, we're also lighting it on fire. Easiest boss I ever fought. And we got more firepower. I guess while we're at it, let's just add even more fire orbs. Can't hurt. We can actually get the evolution of that too. The flame wheel creates a permanent fire circle, damaging enemies around you. Yes. That does make me curious about this bonus wave though. Like, are the enemies going to be able to push through this now? They are pretty strong, but I've got this going on. That's right, morons. Come to my fireballs. Okay, so far we're actually able to destroy them now. And they're pushing a little ways in, but we do also heal through a bit of their damage when they do touch me. We'll see how this goes. So far we're doing much, much better. Look at all those damage readouts. We're healing, we're healing, we're healing. We're healing through this so far. They're hurting us a lot. Oh, that was a lot of damage. But the more that are in there, the more healing we get. I think we just got 600 bonus coins, which is a lot. I didn't realize there's also item sets. We're going to upgrade the current armor we're wearing. That's just going to give us a little more health. I'm also going to spend some of our hard-earned gold upgrading our character for a little extra damage and HP. And after collecting all of rewards for that little run we had, we're going to get another reward. We'll take it 5% damage. And on top of that, 10% damage to elite and boss. Yes. And we do get to open another chest because we got a key somewhere along the way, a rogue's ring. We decided to open one more. We also got an amulet. The amulet's actually green. That's going to add plenty of damage. The ring's also going to add damage and critical hit chance. So I think we're going to enjoy this newfound damage. Now we're hitting for 15 base damage. And already this damage is going for it. We're attacking quick and we're doing 22 damage per shot. Plus just a lot of penetration. It feels like we have an evaporating aura now, but we don't. It's just all of our many projectiles doing a ton of damage. Attack 30% faster? Why yes, I would like to do that. Oh, and there's the boomerang we've been looking for. So it's already going to fire quite quickly and there's lots of boomerangs going out. We're definitely going to work at increasing the boomerang because I want to see its upgrade too. We're just throwing out a lot of boomerangs now. There's a lot of enemies on the ground and now there's 3. Okay, crossbow is going up, more damage and penetration again, so that's going to help, especially against tougher enemies. And here comes the lion boss thing, so we're going to go ahead and get out of his way, and then we're going to sit right in his face and destroy him. We got level 3 boots, so now we're so quick. We can just fly around. Level 5 boomerang, so it's going to be doing a lot of damage. I haven't been seeing its damage readouts, but I bet it's high. I think 75 if I'm seeing that correctly. 75 damage per boomerang. Finally, hero ring. Hits enemies in a big circle around you and slows them on hit. So they go out, circle around, kind of like a saw, and then return to me. But they also slow the enemies they do hit. But they also kill the enemies they hit, so the slowing isn't really much of a factor right now. But the damage feels good. We can just run right through these morons like this. We finish him off, and that actually gave us just enough experience to get us to crosswing. Shoots a fast homing wing-shaped projectile. Which brings us to the coin rush. I didn't realize our health didn't regenerate in between rounds. I might have done this differently, but wow, our super heart thing. Cupid's arrow is going nuts and killing things. At least in one direction. The guys down below, wow, that hits so many guys. It's a giant AoE too. I'm very quick right now, so I might be able to somewhat outrun these, but it's gonna be hard to stay ahead of them. If I try to lure them all to right here and then slip around the horde, that might actually work. Okay, oh, they get stronger as they go. Okay, never mind. Therefore, we just need more damage. I feel like it's been way too long since we've broken something, so we're going to try really hard to do exactly that. And here's the perfect start. You get one more choice for each upgrade and object selection. So we'll get all the right upgrades moving forward so we can further kill these guys quickly. So let's reduce the cooldowns of dashes and abilities by 10%. How good is 10%, you ask? Well, that's 10% more efficient killing everything. Next, we can get a bouncing projectile. That's a legendary upgrade. That basically doubles my damage output. The projectile might bounce, but that doesn't mean it bounces into someone. We're going to further reduce our cooldowns of dashes and abilities by 15% more. And we have our first special idiot. He's got hooks for hands. Very practical, let me tell you. I'm mostly just trying to stick to the rarest upgrades because they're going to be the strongest. Like this one, gain a lot more damage. That sounds pretty strong. We're currently doing 50 damage. That went up to 70, so that was almost a 50% increase from a single item. And the man with hooks is really feeling that damage. He's left this earth, but he left the chest behind. This is new. Each of your projectiles moves between 30 and 70% faster. I'm not entirely sure what the benefit of that is, but I'll take it. I guess the faster it gets to the enemies, the faster good things happen. Gain more damage from 70 to 85. So we're already doing enough damage to one-shot most things, not the mummies, but we're gonna get there. Let's gain more attack speed, so we went from 1.8 per second to 2.25. Roughly a 20% increase, and I'm gonna stop getting hit now. But we gotta get hit a little bit to keep it interesting. More attack speed it is, 2.7 per second, so now we're a little bit more machine gun-like. I really hate how a ricochet just bounces off and goes like nowhere. Shoots an orbiting projectile regularly. Cooldown is 4 seconds. We're going to knock 30% off of that because of our cooldown reduction we started stacking. So we're going to turn into a very dangerous tornado, and I just walked right into the path of a mummy again. Let's reduce our cooldown another 10%, and that way our circling arrows are going to come out more and more. I clearly need a bit of help protecting myself. I've developed this fun habit tonight of walking directly into the path of danger instead of away from it. Gain more attack speed. 3.15 per second. We've almost doubled our attack speed from the beginning. The enemies are dropping so much. Raise the range of your area effect and pickup range by 30%. That's just going to help me pick up more loot without having to walk too far. Plus, it'll make my arrow thing circle bigger. Not really sure what the benefit of that is yet, but presumably there is one. More legendaries. Raise the range of your area effect and pickup range by 40%, so they're going to be really big. We don't have a lot of those yet, but they'll be big and they'll have small cooldown. And we're going to increase that by a further 30%. Not entirely sure where we're going with this yet, but we'll find out soon. We do get 2 layers of projectiles. That's interesting. And we have a guy who wants to circle and get close to us, so you can have all my arrows. Go ahead and stick those right inside you. We're going to take the rare ones of these. I don't know what the backpack is. Oh, it shows my inventory. Well, since we're offered a bottle with a hat on it, we're going to take that. Permanently raise your attack speed by 40%. Half of your shots are less precise. Precision really is never going to be my thing. Next, AoE is going to get a further 30% bigger, so it's at 240% the size it's supposed to be. Now we just need some actual AoE to get in there and make it worth it. But my arrows out there are like halfway to the edge of the screen already, so that's going to get amusing. Let's take another 10% off of our cooldowns. That is diminishing returns, because 10% off of 60 is only 6%. When we started, that would have been 10%. These less precise shots are a little bit annoying, but when everything gets close, hopefully we will be able to just hit them because they're so close. Okay, we're doing another 10% off that, so we're at about 50% cooldown. So whatever is supposed to happen is going to happen twice as fast. I've got like an armadillo chasing me across to the tumbleweed. I don't really know what that is, but it's trying its hardest. Enemies are starting to pile up, so we need to start spawning some arrows. This guy's got a knife in both hands. He's really means business. Okay, this build so far is not optimal. Eventually it's going to synergize really nicely with something. We'll have something really cool. For a few minutes though, it's going to be a meme. Well, we got another ledge. How could we not take this? Raise the range of your area effect. AoE basically 40% bigger. It's at 280%. We just need some actual AoE and then we'll be laughing. Permanently augments your damage by 20%, but your projectiles are slower. Well, we got the other thing that makes our projectiles quicker, so that's just going to add a lot of nice damage to us. I think we can already feel that a little bit. We're doing 100 damage per shot. Critical damage is 75% higher. We just need to start stacking critical chance to actually take advantage of that. There we go. Gain much more damage. A legendary upgrade from 102 to 140 damage. That was actually a straight up 40% damage increase, which is good because we have a sheriff incoming. Okay. We're gonna go ahead and, yeah, it's another armadillo man. He goes into armadillo mode and then fires projectiles, and whoops, he's coming back again. This would be a lot easier if I could actually, like, aim my projectiles. Wow, he's actually pretty tough. So we got him down to 3/4 health, or we gotta watch out because he's gonna go armadillo mode any second now. It said some of my projectiles are, like, less accurate. It didn't specify all of them would just be hitting the moon instead of this thing.
Like, there's a giant purple moron standing in front of me, and I can barely hit him with anything.
Okay, this time we should be able to get some arrows into him. This might finish him off. We might just tank through him because I'm kind of sick of him already. Okay, yeah, come just a little closer. Got him. Okay, we're going to triple our shot. This is the legendary upgrade. We're going to lose 40% attack speed. We can actually stack that back on, but since we're so inaccurate, I kind of want the triple shot. And at some point, we definitely will actually add something of AoE, aside from my whirling thing. More damage for us, from 138 to 156. Another good increase. The idiots are starting to drop red coins as well, so we're getting experience mucho fast. And we're going to need to keep leveling up because our damage is starting to lag behind where we need it to. Increase your chance of crits by 7%. That puts us up to 12%. That's actually a considerable upgrade already, so over 1 in 10 is going to be a crit. And considering how many we're firing, every crit that lands is going to be a big help to us. We could also just use a touch more speed, that way we can stay further ahead. We don't shoot while we're moving. I re-rolled into a pistarang, consistently spirals around you, inflicts damage to enemies it goes through, and shoots at your current attack speed. Sure. That also might be affected by my AoE, so it might actually be a little bit too big, because I think it's like leaving the map, which isn't probably helpful. But it hits enemies and physically damages them, but it also shoots, and that is equal to my current gun's damage. So that's just an extra thing for us to damage enemies with. It's just going to kind of fly out there and do its thing. Your shots pierce through one more enemy. Yes. I think they're going to pierce once and then bounce once they hit the second enemy, and that's going to be good, because finally our arrows are going in a straight line. Well, this might be good. Drops a dynamite before each dash. It explodes and inflicts damage, obviously, in an area of effect around after 2 seconds. So, look how big it is. Okay, we might be onto something finally. We just needed some dynamite. So let's also make that 20% bigger. And our dashes are going to come back quickly because we have 50% cooldown on dashes now. So we can probably just nuke everything again and again. Okay, let's put some more attack speed back on. We're going from 2.65 to 3 per second. Wonder if I actually get enough dashes if I could just permanently dash around. Because if I had like 10 of them, they'd be recharging probably as fast as I could use them if my cooldown was even quicker. And Dr. Strange is here to shoot purple red balls at us. We're just going to go ahead and shoot him slowly. He's got a lot of HP. The bombs are good for smaller idiots, not the bosses. But that doesn't mean we can have some overlap. The bombs are so big, they're just going to hit everything anyway, which is fun. Your projectiles bounce 2 more times, and they do so in the opposite direction. That should be a very good one. Raise the range of AoE by 20%. Yeah, why not at this point? Starting to get the blue coins dropping, so that's even more experience, and we're going to need it. Everything's in such a hurry to die, it just wants to run straight toward me. Also getting a lot of red orbs shot at me, which I'm not used to dealing with. Luckily, they're quite easy to see so far. I'm going to assume that my damage directly affects the bombs, so we're going to gain much more damage. We're going from 156 to 192. We'll see how the bombs feel. 192. Yep, the bombs are my damage. Or the other way around. There's a mole that likes to hide underground and throw bombs at me. We can throw bombs right back at him, though. The beauty of the bombs is you don't have to strategize or aim or think. You just drop a bomb and it pretty much kills everything on the screen. I'm glad we were able to create nuclear bombs today. We could probably make them even bigger. This one also pairs nicely. When one of your dash slots is ready, create a burst that does 100% damage in the area around you. When our dash comes back, is it saying it creates a... Yeah, okay, so it's actually creating a giant, like, pulse wave every time a dash returns. So we need to reduce the cooldowns of dashes and abilities by a further 10%. So now our dashes are going to come back. So when we dash, we drop a bomb. When a dash comes back, it also creates a bomb. So we're double bombing. And this will inevitably spiral out of control, which is going to be fun in itself. Crit chance is going up by 7%, so at about 20% crit chance or 1 in 5 attacks. I don't know if that affects bombs and my other thing, but whatever the case, it's probably more damage. We have the sheriff incoming. He probably likes bombs too, so we'll go ahead and whoops, leave him some bombs. Think we took a hit there. That's okay. Okay, he's got a bit of a new attack pattern. That's okay. I need to get right in there and hit him. Like, I don't know where I do the most damage. Is it my perimeter arrows? Is it my inside arrow? Oh, this is a bad spot for me to be. He might seem gruff on the outside, but he's really a lover, not a fighter. I like how he's supposed to be the boss dropping bombs. That's our job now. Okay, he's dead. Every 1 meter, deal 30% of your damage to enemies in an area around you. So now also as we're walking, we're also dealing damage to, yeah, we're just melting things around us in a giant radius because our thing is huge. So every time we walk a meter, 58 damage to the enemies around us. Combined with our bombs and explosions, that's going to get fun. Okay, here's another mini boss. This will be a good test of things. We're going to drop some bombs around and our dash is going to come back and we're going to melt him with this. We're not actually actively attacking him. Yet we're still damaging him. We got lots of passive damage. And when the screen gets filled up with morons, we just dash around a little bit, drop some bombs, and as soon as these start recharging our dash, things get hurt. Alright, what do we got now? Emits an aura that periodically inflicts 25% of your damage to enemies in an area around me. So we have a double damage aura going around us. Something big is occasionally going off for 600 damage. I'm not sure what that is. Our AoE just went up by another further 30% because you can never have dimensions at almost 400% now. Yeah, that's it. Come follow me around. Really good idea. Yeah, something is hitting for really big damage. I'm not entirely sure what it is because I forget what I have already. But you know what? The damage is there. We won't ask too many questions. Emits an aura that slows enemies in an area around you by 35%. So it's going to start to get hard to see because we got a lot of auras going on, but enemies are going to get slowed and melted. I'm basically slowly turning them into soup alive. And we're going to do 100% more crit damage. I don't know if a lot of our auras can do crits, but my regular shots certainly can. And damage is just coming from all different sources now anyway. And I'm pretty sure my cooldown makes my auras go off quicker, like the DPS on them's got to go up and up and up the more my cooldowns are reduced. Oh, it's my circling gun that's doing all the damage for 800. I forgot that thing exists again. I'm going to gain a little bit more speed because speed equals damage. Every time I travel a meter, we hurt things around us. That's why that thing's ticking off rapidly in damage. And I'm pretty sure actually that would probably also count for the dash. The dash is going to carry me probably 2 meters, so there's 2 extra damages that get to go off. Plus the bombs recharging. There's so many coins lying around. There's gold ones on the ground, and I don't know if there's a new or old. Deals damage in an area around you before you dash. So we're doing damage as we dash, we're leaving a bomb as we dash, we're doing damage as we put that dash back, plus we gain a dash. We have 5 dashes. Each one more dangerous than the last. The enemies are dying too quickly, like I'm not even enjoying my bombs at this point because there's no enemies left. Gain a lot more damage from 192 to 216. That's a nice boon. At this point I'm just an evaporator. I have an evaporator aura around me. Ooh, the werewolf has AoE too. Oh, we're actually pushing him back with something. Every time you move 2 meters, lightning strikes a random enemy, dealing 100% damage and a small AoE. That's actually going to be a big AoE, so we're going to be lightning striking a lot too. Imagine being the lucky enemy that got randomly annihilated by lightning. And the enemies will stack up eventually, so that lightning will be hitting multiples. I'm quite sure of that. We're going to increase the range of the AoE by a further 20%. We're at 390%. So I guess by the time the enemies get into range, they're going to slow and just slowly melt. And we get to spend the next hour making idiot soup. The next sheriff is incoming. Not sure what we're going to be dealing with. The Undertaker. Ah, yes, I remember him now. Okay, he did manage to hit us once. So we're going to be a little bit careful because he has a big AoE himself. It's an AoE battle because he moves in, then AoEs. So we're just going to go like that. And then as long as we're out of his range when she stops, then we're going to be okay. Like he's going to move in. We should be okay down here. And we're just slowly melting him. He'll chase me up this way. We're just going to stop down here. And more AoE. He runs toward me, but we out AoE him big time. We have way bigger range. Okay, I thought he was dead, but his horse ran away. You will rest in peace. Yeah, we'll see about that. Okay, he's just firing non-stop balls at me. We can dash. I don't really remember this, but we're just going to deal with it. Okay, the balls have been reversed. So if I just casually walk back and forth, I think we're going to be okay. That's it. That's it. I did not mean to dodge that, but I was very lucky there. Okay, here, you know what? Have some bombs. Have some bombs. Have some explosives. Oh, the balls are back. They remind me of cucumber slices. We're being attacked by cucumbers. Oh, he's dead. This is a sort of legendary thing we need. Deal your raw damage as an AoE effect each time your projectiles inflict a critical strike. So basically my things become a bomb when they crit strike. And that's going to be a really big bomb. So we just need to turn our crit chance up. Okay, there's an extra 5% crit chance. So 1 in 4 shots is a crit now. So we're just going to keep wandering around. We're going to fire some shots occasionally, wander around. I'm not sure what the most efficient use of my power is at this point, but it all seems just pretty good. We're going to add a little bit more damage on. So we went from 216 to 234. There's a werewolf again. We'll see if we can just sort of melt him for a moment. Every once in a while, everything just evaporates on this screen, and it's very satisfying. Whatever the case, when I need some space, I just go like that and everything dies. Look at all this 1000s. Permanently augments your damage by 30%, reduces attack speed and projectiles. That's okay, we need damage, not the other stuff, so we're 304 base damage. I reroll these, reduce the cooldowns of dashes and abilities by further 15%. That's actually big. 36%. So our dashes and everything are coming back super quick, and I think our auras go off a lot quicker because of that. We're doing 1400 crits on something we're doing. We see a lot of big purple critical hits going out. Don't know what those are from, don't care. Okay, there's a werewolf. By the time he even showed up, he was pretty low on health, so I'm not sure what he's been doing. But our auras probably go pretty far. They might actually go off the screen at times, so he might be hurting things we can't even see yet. Let's reduce the cooldowns a further 10%. So 32%. 1/3. Our dash comes back in 1/3 of the time it's supposed to. 2 shields rotate and block enemy projectiles. Yeah, why not? That's only going to help keep me alive a little bit. To be fair, projectiles might be one of the few things that can really hit me at this point. Enemies are going to have trouble getting close for a little while. I knocked the enemy back. I don't know where he went. He's just not here anymore. Your crits deal 100% more damage. Throw 3 knives in random directions, reach 4 meters traveled. Why, yes, I will take that because we travel a lot. So just throwing a little more DPS out there isn't going to hurt anything. Enemies are starting to pile up quicker. I need my dashes to come back just a little quicker. But I need to remember to keep moving for our lightning and auras. I also forget where I've traveled, so I don't know where all my stuff is. Crits deal 75% more damage, yes. I also have a bad habit of moving away from my bombs. Like I leave a few bombs on the ground and I run away from them. I need to leave them there like that. That way they can actually do their damage to things. And it's just satisfying to see the giant explosions going off and killing so many things. Okay, we get 2 mini bosses stacking up on us. That's actually a good thing. We're going to increase our chance of crits by further 7%. The closer we can get that to 100, the better it's going to be considering all the perks we get from crits. Gain 10% more experience from past and future coins, yes. Raise the area, the AoE by a further 20%, that's up to 410%. Which is why our explosions and auras are so absurdly big. Spawns an invincible minion and picks up coins for you, moves 20% slower, and inflicts 50% of the damage when it collides with an enemy. So he's just going to run around, being my little servant. He'll grab the coins for me and also do the occasional damage. Speaking of damage, we're going to gain a lot more of it. We just got about a 10% damage increase from the base. We're going to combine that with the crits, so yeah, 2,300, 2,000? I can't read that, it's too quick. They're somewhere in the 2000s. We're getting variable depending on what's actually hitting the enemies, which could be a lot of things. I'm going to gain a little bit more speed, because speed does equal damage for us. I like how I can just push them back too. When they're getting close, I just go like that and they get pushed somewhere else. The AoE is so big, we're pushing them to Australia every time we dash. Attract all collectibles on screen when you eliminate a deputy. I think this is considered a deputy, but I don't really remember. Yeah, I guess it would be because the big guys are sheriffs. This guy's like a pretend sheriff, so he's a deputy. Starting to get lots of enemies on screen, so we're maybe going to start taking damage. Luckily, there's lots of hearts around. We'll take another 5% crit damage. For a basic gray upgrade, that's actually pretty big. Like, we have over 1 in 3 chance of doing crits, and that's why there's so much purple text on this screen. I gotta remember to do little circles at least too, that way our lightning and stuff can strike and our other aura can go off. We're leading our little devil friend in nice little circles. Oh, he brought another friend. Okay, he's dead. AoE is up by a further 20%. I'm not sure where our little helper friend is either. Game's starting to lag. You also shoot behind you. Sure, why not? It won't hurt to have a 4th projectile going out there in all directions. We got our bouncing projectiles anyway, so considering the enemies are swarming us, we have projectiles just bouncing around the inside of that circle non-stop. You know, the deputies are still dying nice and quick. Regular enemies are obviously getting tough. The game's obviously getting a little bit laggy. But we're going strong, I believe. We're going to take another 7% crit chance. That puts us up to 43, so getting close to a 1 in 2. When your projectile should be destroyed, their damage is reduced by 50% and they pierce instead. So they get extra piercing. Their damage gets reduced, but those projectiles just keep going. Always target deputies. Gradually increase your damage and attack speed until it dies or is out of screen, so we could get a rather big bonus from having this guy run around on screen in front of us. Which is kind of funny because we're just slowly killing him anyway. And if we run in circles, he can't actually touch us. We could leave him a few bombs. Oh, that pushes him off the screen though, maybe. That was a bad idea. But that's a good way of making space for myself. If I need a little space to breathe, I just go like that and push things off the screen. Then the bombs go off and the dashes come back. Deals damage in an area around you after you dash. So not only are we leaving a bomb, but we're going to land and also do a giant smash on the ground that hurts things. I think our original dash mostly kills everything. Like, we do damage before and after, but the first one tends to kill everything, so I think our follow-up shot doesn't hit anything. I don't know, it's hard to tell. There's a lot of damage. Let's make it bigger. Okay, for each current health get bigger, deal 10% damage. Yes, we'll just take that extra damage because we just gotta move around slowly and our aura is gonna keep us safe anyway. Look at all that purple damage. So everything we do is just destroying everything. I don't think the game's gonna last much longer. Crits deal 100% more damage? Yeah, why not? 725% crits. Attract your collectibles from further away? I'm pretty sure like our auras or like our AoE is so big we're collecting things that like aren't even registered in the game yet. We're getting them from like someone else's game. I think at this point we're actually doing so much damage that nothing can reach us. Like if I just do circles, the deputies can reach us, but regular enemies, I don't think they can actually make it. I think they melt before they get here. Seems to be the case. So I can just take my devil for a nice little walk and no one can do anything about it at all. I guess this is a good one to have. Each time you move 2 meters, load your next shot with 2 more projectiles. Because we only fire once in a while, we run around, we're just going to stack a bunch there. We're also going to gain a lot more damage. And it's got the power where every time I dash, I take 1 damage, but I gain 5 damage. Luckily, there's a lot of hearts on the ground and my dashes come back really quick. So if I want, I can just go like this and that added a whole bunch of damage and I've healed myself already. So the aura is hitting people for like 3,000 damage and it's going off a lot. A few minutes later, I'm up to about 1,500 base damage and we're literally running out of upgrades. So it's getting us just regular upgrades instead of artifacts. I'm currently at a bounty of 620,000 and even the deputy can barely make it to me. I don't think I actually had to move there. If I hold still, I don't even see the enemies. I just evaporate everything. While it's a few minutes later, my base damage is up to about 3,000, so it's only going up. The enemies are evaporating pretty much before I can see them. Then every time I dash, I add damage, but I also heal myself while doing it, so I'm just infinitely stacking damage. So I think I can conclude that I win. Whatever this is, I've won. Dinosaurs. We're going to use dinosaurs to ruin the world today. An extinct plague has mutated to bring back dinosaurs from the dead. So the big question is, what country can we place dinosaurs in that will attract the least suspicion? Pretty sure Northern Europeans are pretty tall, so dinosaurs will probably blend right in. We're starting in what's apparently Germany. So it begins. It spreads slowly and can be noticed easily if any unusual symptoms show up, like dinosaurs. Make sure you don't get too severe. What? Severe? That doesn't sound like something we would do. But we've currently infected 2 people. Imagine being one of the first 2 infected with dinosauritis. We'll work on a better title later. We currently have coughing. We're not allowed to devolve it. So if you're going to have this disease, you're going to cough. But that makes it very infective. Rise of the planet of the dinos. Now I get to choose which dinosaurs come back from extinction. This is not a power I should ever have. So we're going to wait till just a few people are infected. We're up to 8 now. The more people we infect, the more points we get to spend on better dinosaurs. It is a fairly central, busy location for once. They probably have pretty good healthcare over there though. So for 3 points, we're going to give everyone sneezing. That makes it very minorly more severe somehow, but more infectious. I do feel like the older you get, the more sneezing is a real thing, because you can actually really hurt yourself sneezing. And there's a few things here in its abilities that we can't devolve, but it starts modifying itself into the required DNA and cells, so it's turning itself into a dinosaur. I hope it's literally a person that like forcefully gets turned into a dinosaur. But for now we can make the Archaeopteryx perhaps, small dinosaurs which can fly and spread the pathogen. I've heard enough. You know, I never really considered that those might stand out flying around Germany. To be fair, I've never been to Germany, so maybe they'll blend right in. Okay, here we go. We're very subtle. Dinosaurs roaming around. People are posting videos and pictures on the internet claiming dinosaurs are real and wandering around. Are these real creatures or just another internet hoax? I think we all know that nothing on the internet has been real ever, so we can dismiss that as a hoax. I like how we can already get a velociraptor, a dinosaur which hunts in packs and to take down prey, attacks humans in large groups. But the severity is up there with sneezing. We can make them camouflage. Dinosaurs gain the ability to camouflage and get less likely to be noticed by humans. Ghost dinosaurs. We're also going to give them more transmissibility from fomites. I don't know what they are, but they transmit through physical contact, especially in wealthy and urban environments. Wildlife 1. Pathogen manifests around animals, lizards, bats, and fish. Yes, those are in fact animals. Yeah, we'll throw that one up there too. The more infective it is, the better. We're gonna try and leave it very infectious, but littly severe. I'm evolving dinosaurs, but I've somehow devolved my vocabulary to that of a toddler. I guess it suits my maturity level. So things are ramping up here in Germany. We have like 1,000 people infected per second at this rate, so we're getting lots of points. And there's not too many, I didn't know I could do that. There's only so many red bubbles on Germany and the surrounding European countries. Slight sickness going around. Yeah, there's literally dinosaurs. Slight sickness it is. So because we are in Germany, we're going to give it drug resistance. It's going to do better in rich countries. We're going to override healthcare with dinosaur power. We're also going to give it air 1. This works around in air and I believe warm, arid countries. Basically, we're going to make it really infectious, so it's able to spread around quickly. We hit the neighboring country, Eastern Europe, Poland, something like that. I'm assuming they're also quite tall, so the dinosaurs should blend in fairly easily. Overall in the world, we just broke 1 million people infected. So I think this disease will affect people, but it also grows dinosaurs sort of on a different thing. We could give people severe nosebleeds, and somehow that's actually worse than velociraptors by a large margin. At least in severity, not necessarily lethality, and you think those two would have a healthy amount of overlap. We're also going to give it some cold resistance because we're in Northern Europe. It probably snows a lot up here. Greenland is always covered in snow. Okay, the plague is spreading. It's getting close to Asia at this point. But if we get the core of Europe infected, it should spread out everywhere from there, because look at all those airports and seaports. Germany has just about everyone infected yet. They're not that worried yet because it's really just sneezing and coughing a bunch. We made it to the US. So in theory now, every plane or boat that leaves Germany should land in another country and infect them there. We got our nosebleeds. We're going to take nosebleeds away because that makes it too obvious for people. That makes it too easy to find. Sneezing and coughing, nobody thinks any of. Maybe they're just allergic to the dinosaurs running around and it's nothing to worry about. We are going to get some heat resistance at this point too. And then we have just about all the transmission things covered because we're on the edge of a lot of warm countries. So the virus can spread a little easier down there. Yeah, I'm looking at you, Australia. The dinosaurs are coming for you. The Festival of Love in Central Europe would probably help a highly transmissible disease get around. Now that I think about it, once the dinosaurs get to Australia, they might actually die off because it's very inhospitable. I feel like the animals there would eat the dinosaurs. There's an animal rampage in Germany. The zoo animals that broke out in Germany have gone on a rampage and killed 43. Good job. They're doing my work for me. We've got 147 million people around the world infected so far. So this is going to be good. We're sneaking our way around, and at one point we're just going to unleash a whole plethora of dinosaurs. New minor disease spreading. Yeah, it's kind of been that way for a while. We got Canada. So Europe's obviously looking fairly infected. We're getting into Asia a little bit. Africa so far looks untouched, but North America we got to get all the continents, including whatever these considered as. So we're going to get water transmission. Pathogen can survive outside the body in fresh, warm water, increase infectivity, especially in humid environments, and ship transmission. Ship is a big one because, well, there's a lot of ships leaving Northern Europe. They just don't know they're carrying dinosaurs. We got the UK. Good thing we picked the water thing, those rainy islands. Finland has also become part of the dinosaur empire at this point. Hey, we did make it down to Africa. East Africa as well. Okay, we're getting pretty widespread. Australia and the islands around it are still a little bit untouched. I saw a ship leave somewhere here to Greenland, but it apparently wasn't carrying this disease, which is very sad. But on the bright side, cheap clean power discovered. The dinosaurs will use that to enslave the humans, or just probably eat them instead. I'm going to spend a massive 17 points on drug resistance 2, which is further going to fight against class 3 and 4 antibiotics, so it can go further against drugs. We're fighting the war on drugs with dinosaurs, I guess is what I'm taking away from this. We're using dinosaurs to defeat drugs. Look how effective this is though. That's just ticking along. We're getting like 10 million people a second. Okay, we got Iceland, so we got one of the lands. Greenland is the one that I really want to get though. It's also quite hard. Oh, there was a red ship, but it landed in South Africa. I thought it might swoop around to Australia. Doomsaurus Awareness Day. Yes, if you see a dinosaur, do be aware of it. That is abnormal in today's world. We got Japan. Oh, I think we just got Greenland, soon to be known as Dinosaur Island. This whole thing is just going to be Dinosaur Land. And South America, we got into Brazil. So we've still only affected maybe 15% of the world, but that's going up quickly because they're not really working on a cure because it doesn't seem that bad yet. But we're going to spring this surprise on them soon enough. We just need the whole thing to turn red. Already there's dinosaurs on pretty well every continent that exists, so the world is in trouble. And it really wants us to have nosebleeds. But I think at this point we do want velociraptors. It's going to be a little bit lethal, it's going to be a little bit severe, but it's velociraptors. Then there's also some really cool options. We can get extreme relocations. Dinosaurs will relocate to other countries to avoid getting killed by task forces, but that increases the spread of their disease. Zombified dinosaurs. Dinosaurs who were shot dead get reanimated with a slight chance of infecting soldiers. These are going to be unstoppable. But we really need to be careful about how quickly we unleash the deadliness of this. I really need more of the things down here to start getting infected also. Dinosaurs come back from extinction. Yeah, that happened like 4 years ago, but good to see people are paying attention. Militaries are going to show up soon and kill them off. Germany starts cure research. So right away, we're going to spend 9 points to get camouflage 2, which is going to slow down the time needed for a cure. Also, dinosaur skin durability. Skin becomes more immune to hazardous objects around, slows down the cure. We don't want them to get cured. So we'll keep an eye on the cure down here in the lower right, because if it starts getting bad, we're just going to make this really dangerous and kill everyone we can. We got Australia. And since the dinosaurs seem to migrate, actually, as long as we're on the continent, like we haven't affected Argentina yet, but dinosaurs will migrate between them naturally. We just got to get South America going. And I'm thinking maybe it's the extreme weather down there in South America that's making the disease not spread. So we're going to get environmental hardening, become highly weather resistant and extremely comfortable in both hot and cold. Because there's definitely some big blank spots here, and I notice they're probably warmer countries, at least geographically. I'm not sure if they're culturally very warm or not. I know little about these places. But now we're getting somewhere. Okay, we've got like 55% of the world infected already. 4 billion people. Germany's been working on a cure, but they're not very good at it. We're still at 0% overall. We have 70 points though. I think we could probably start making this pretty dangerous because we've effectively infected the world. So the first thing we're going to do is get zombie dinosaurs. So they're going to start to shoot the dinosaurs, but they're going to come back to life and infect people anyway. We're also going to get extreme relocation. Dinosaurs will relocate to other countries because they're going to be hunted down now anyway, so they'll move. Then we're going to get a Utah raptor. Dinosaurs which can attack any human on bikes and can sneak into houses easily. That's terrifying. So I feel like now that we press play, zombified dinosaurs alert. Yeah, that would probably make the news. Everyone is advised to stay home and let the soldiers deal with them. You can try. I've got zombie dinosaurs. Good luck. Plus, they spread a rather dangerous disease. So we've killed 2 million people. The world is soon to be entirely infected. No one can escape me now. We got nosebleeds, epistaxis, severe nosebleeds. I'm just going to let that one be now. We might as well make it worse. Pretty much got the world infected anyway. Countries are mobilizing special containment squads to capture dinosaurs from attacking civilians. This reduces severity and lethality. I've got a solution for that. We're just going to make it more severe and lethal. We're going to get zombie dinosaurs level 2. Dead dinosaurs with chunks of flesh gone get reanimated with a slight chance of mutation. Mutation is fun. We can just wildly mutate this thing. And we're also going to get Cryolophosaurus. Can take over homes and becomes hostile if any humans come close to it or its territory. Perfect. And then pack behavior. Dinosaurs will form a pack of their species in order to hunt down humans quicker and will coordinate attacks on nearby task forces. Yes. I think we're probably also going to need hemoptysis. Coughing up blood from inflamed bronchi increases infectivity and is fatal in extreme cases. Yes. And then we're to sell our little dinosaurs go on an even bigger rampage. Dinosaurs infected with Doomsaurus. You think it was a coincidence that this new plague showed up at the same time dinosaurs did? You might have wanted to explore that correlation sooner. Utah raptor pack attacks lab in East Africa. Cure process has been slowed down due to this. They're coordinating. Elite task forces being sent out. Governments have deployed elite task forces everywhere to help kill the dinosaurs, reducing severity and lethality again. We'll see about that. We have 6.8 billion people infected, 20 million dead, and we're going to continually kill more. I'm pretty sure we're about to infect the last of people on Earth. There's just a few little holdouts, probably somewhere. Fever symptom mutated also. Saurians are being scorched. Task forces have now resorted to setting dinosaurs on fire in an attempt to kill them quicker to prevent fatalities. Reduces severity and lethality. I don't get why they want to stop my dinosaurs. We're going to get skin durability too. Dinosaur skin becomes strong in any environment that they're in, slows down the cure. We need that now. And then hybridization. Dinosaurs evolve the ability to have bulletproof skin, extreme camouflage, and higher intelligence. Slows down and sets back the cure. So we have like bulletproof super dinosaurs that are also zombies that reanimate. Then we're going to get Carnotaurus, a dinosaur which can find any hiding humans inside abandoned or in wooded areas. So even if they go try and live in the woods to hide, this guy will find them. Alright, and then we'll unpause it and let the good times roll. We are definitely killing 13 million people every tick at this point. There's still a lot of people out there to kill. Populated dinosaur areas being bombed while they're bringing out literal nukes. Severity and lethality have been reduced, yeah. My dinosaurs are out there in the wild though. UAV drones are also attacking dinosaurs in Sweden. If this goes on any longer, a nuclear attack is possible. Well, that's fine. You can nuke the dinosaurs, but each one of these dots represents a dinosaur population, so good luck nuking it. Doomsaurus becomes a global threat, do you think? I mean, literally every person in the world is infected by this, and there's dinosaurs murdering people. just for funsies. Riots erupt over too. That's not wise. You wouldn't riot when there's dinosaurs on a rampage. That'll make you easy to find. Then we got subconjunctival hemorrhage symptoms. And that actually sounds fun. I want to see what that one is. Blood vessels burst, causing severe red eyes with occasional external bleeding. Yeah, that sounds pretty bad. I need more DNA points. Dinosaurs, do your thing. Cure research increased. Yeah, not a bad idea at this point, considering I've currently killed 20% of the entire world with my dinosaurs. Might want to crack that whip a little harder. And we got protests and riots causing a global crisis. Leave it to people to really come together to work on a solution. Yeah, the cure is at 25%, so I need these dinosaurs to step up their murdering abilities, please. We're getting so many points so quickly for so long. Dinosaurs can camouflage, we already knew that. If they wanted to continue on their murdering ways though, I wouldn't stop them. We've currently killed a lot of people. 1.4 billion of the world's population have been killed by my dinosaurs. We got muscle weakness. I actually find that really funny because not only are like these super camouflaged zombie mega dinosaurs chasing people, but people now have muscle weakness, so they especially can't get away. So I'm just picturing these really feeble, slow people complaining their muscles ache where a T-Rex is chasing them and eating them. At least I hope that's the case all over this world we've created together. Well, we've wiped out probably 1/4 of the entire world and things are just kind of trucking along. I think everyone's just hiding in their houses or wherever they can, trying not to become dinosaur food. I guess I can devolve some of the transmission things, because it's already spread everywhere, so we don't need infectivity anymore. I read that backwards. I was spending money to devolve those. So we didn't actually get a refund, we just cost ourselves a bunch of money. Story of my life, am I right? But we got weak bone density also. It just gets worse and worse for these poor people. I'm not even in control of this anymore. This thing's just mutating and having fun on its own. Bones start to get extremely painful, and if put under a lot of pressure, they can break. Slows down and sets back the cure. So these people that had sore muscles before were being chased by dinosaurs. Now their bones will break if they try and run. That obviously also set back the cure, because I picture people are like working hard, pouring beakers into each other, doing science stuff, and then their legs just break under them and they fall to the ground. They manipulated the genes of Dinosaurus, so that jumped it ahead 3%. It's just sort of a race against itself right now, this meter versus this meter. But we're killing a lot of people, and their cure is going to get slower the more people we kill. There are also nuclear exploding things, so that's probably also going to hurt people. Huge nuclear explosion released vast cloud of radioactive particles. Cause unknown, but location suggests failure or sabotage of a nuclear power plant. Oh yeah, you need people to run those. Speaking of people, they now have systemic infection. For those of you that don't know, that one's not fun. Affects multiple organs and tissue types, causing body-wide infections that spread fast and can be fatal. So on top of that, they have broken bones, weak muscles, all sorts of bleeding, and dinosaurs chasing them. This is actually beautiful when you think about it. I'm picturing like a world that's like Mad Max, but with dinosaurs added in, but the dinosaurs are smart and bulletproof. I guess also zombies, so even if you do manage to kill a dinosaur, it just comes back. We also have tachycardia. Resting heart rate is consistently above 100 beats per minute, putting pressure on the heart. Yeah, that's pretty good for people with like bones that are falling apart too, so that's fun. Why do they still have a seaport open? I guess it doesn't matter at this point. You'd think they'd be working a little more diligently on a cure, but I guess I did do my best to slow it down. As we hit 2 billion people dead, respiratory failure. Severe hypoxemia leads to catastrophic respiratory failure and death. That one sounds bad. I don't know what I did to make this thing evolve so wildly, but I'm happy I did it, because I just sit back and watch the chaos unfold. I haven't even been paying any attention to the news up here. Looks like everyone's just sort of bombing dinosaur areas. I can't blame them. We also have neurological decomposition. Causes brain to internally bleed severely and slowly starts to decompose. Slows down the cure. Yeah, I should think it does. Having your brain slowly bleeding and decomposing should cause you a whole bunch of different issues. If that doesn't cause you issues, I don't think you have a very good brain to begin with. Doomsaur's crisis alert. Also, thanks Captain Obvious, people are dying from dinosaurs and a disease at an alarming rate. Fatality tolls are ranging from 50 million up to 200 million a day. So I think what we need now is Carcharodontosaurus, a large dinosaur which can easily sniff out and hunt down any humans in research labs. So it's going to eat specifically scientists at this point. See, they attacked a cure cap in Colombia. They're smart. There's probably like 14 scientists left in the world to be fair, so I feel bad for the dinosaurs. They're not going to have a lot to eat. I guess eventually they'll just eat whatever else is out there, animals or each other or nothing at all. They really got to like 35% of the way done with their cure and just kind of died. A nuke was detonated in USA, killing multiple dinosaurs, but also killing a massive amount of people. See, that's okay though because they killed multiple dinosaurs, as in 2 or more. To celebrate that, we're going to unleash a Tyrannosaurus Rex, a dinosaur which can scavenge any many remaining human corpses and increasing the spread of the disease. So now that there's like 700 million people left, they also have to deal with T-Rexes. And prehistoric plague symptom mutated. Virus has mutated skin decay, muscle failure, and cryptogenic shock. Sets back and slows down the cure process. Yeah, just what humanity needed. That set them back a full 3%, and they could not afford to spare that 3%. Who knew dinosaurs were so dangerous? Survival groups formed worldwide. People around the world have made small survival groups to spend their final moments together as Doomsaurs and its dinosaurs are eradicating the human race. All hope is lost. They're still going forward with the nukes though. I think it's a little late, but I'm sure they killed multiple dinosaurs, so that was worth nuking an entire population for. The first step to solving this would be watching Jurassic Park. They handled those dinosaurs. You could learn a lot from that movie. These people instead decided to complain about weak muscles and breaking bones while they withered and died, and then the dinosaurs ate them. It wasn't a good strategy. Spain has also launched a nuke. I don't know how many people are left in Spain, but probably not a great deal. There's 500,000. I guess it might as well nuke at that point. All or nothing. They're just nuking themselves now. Everywhere we look, they're sending nukes on themselves, trying to just do anything they can. We're down to the final 70,000 people. Wow, it's like we're playing World Box suddenly. There's just nukes everywhere. So overall in the world, actually there's still 85 million people, which sounds like a lot, but when you consider that we killed 7 billion, humanity's not looking so hot. Extinction symptom mutated. Causes all human organs to shut down immediately, total brain death, and their bones decay at an extremely fast rate. Destroys cure process. Again, yeah, I think that was implied. Considering like people just sort of evaporate now. We just like Thanos snapped, but like fully. So yeah, people are just absolutely dying. Yeah, the world is doomed. Militaries fall back. Yeah, because they're literally falling apart. They're going to run and just like fall into a pile of goo on the ground. And then the dinosaur is going to eat them like soup. Final 100,000 people. No one wants to launch a final nuke. Dinosaurs take back the world. That's right. The underdog wins.